LA 21 12670. Offices in Baton Rouge.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Thursday, May 4th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 89. Coming up on OTB, presented by All-Star Toyota, we have a bunch of guests. LSU softball coach Beth Torina joins the show at 8 a.m. We talk to LSU baseball coach Jay Johnson at 8:30. Plus, Hayden Travinsky joins the show at 9 a.m. And we talk to Maddie Hudak at 9:30. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, Peter, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome in OTB here on this Thursday, Diamond Day, as it always is. We prepare for the upcoming weekend series. Softball going to their final weekend. Such a bummer, man. Only 3 more weekends left of LSU SEC baseball for the regular season. And then this just legendary team, which is just so much fun to watch. It's just been constantly like buying a ticket to the show. It's got a bit of that 2019 feel where you just know the good guys are going to win, and it makes watching the movie incredibly fun. While it still is exciting because you convince yourself they may lose, but then they do. It's just whatever. I love this team. As we said throughout, maintain perspective on this team, how awesome they are, and get ready to lock in as they hit the road and head to Auburn this weekend. Jake, what's up, man? How we feeling today?
I'm feeling good. Let's don't bury the lead. Look at that haircut.
What's up? Yeah, I took a couple inches off.
Yeah,
You know,
I see you. No hat.
Keep it a little
Got a
long.
little haircut. Feeling good. Looks good.
The thing about the hat mainly is, well, the hat is twofold. First off, the hat is nice when you have long hair to keep it out of your face. More than that, though, I think sometimes it's hard to make hair look good with headphones. You know, it's you use the earbuds exactly. So if you use the over the ear cans, it's just tough, man. It's just tough sometimes. So
Yeah, I mean, look, you got great hair and it falls down. Like, I'm not fixing my hair at 5:45 in the morning.
yeah, no,
You know?
I feel that. 100%.
And I'm just, I'm still glad to have some. So, if I was bald and I could just show up, like, I wouldn't wear a hat, but, just tame it a little bit.
Yeah, man. But thank you. Shout out my guy Troy, T-Roy Mercer, getting me right.
I mean, my man Taylor's got product in his hair.
Taylor, I was
And
just
gets
thinking
here
that
early.
Same thing. Yep. Yeah.
That's
Taylor does
dedication.
Get here. What's your normal hair routine look like in the morning, Taylor?
Ooh, let's see. A normal hair routine?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, very simple
I'm a
question,
night shower.
Okay.
So that's why I
Yeah.
typically keep it short, because I do shower at night, so I don't have to wake up even earlier.
Yeah.
But I do gel it. So shower like right before bed.
Yeah.
Try to stay as still as possible while I'm sleeping.
Hey,
Wake
wait,
up, do a
what do
little. I do the Axe.
Okay.
It's not like the gel. It's like the
Yeah.
shaping paste
Yeah.
or whatever it's called.
I
like-
love a good shaving.
Yeah,
But I
that's
like
what I
this
use.
staying as still as possible while I sleep,
Yeah.
so my hair doesn't get messed up.
I'm saying
portion
that
of
is.
No, look, Look, it makes me mad. I'll wake up in the morning, I'll have like a cow lick or something on the side of my head. I'm like, throw on a hat and come to work.
I just picture yourself like Dobby style, like, bam, Taylor, bam, you
I
moved
do,
when
yeah.
you slept.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Gotta stay still. No way.
Having like
bro.
a Musso breakdown.
That's an awful
Just
way to
cussing
live.
at
You
himself.
can't like, if your hair requires you to make yourself sleep without moving, like you gotta
Well, so
change
that's
up
why I typically
something in
keep
the
it short.
routine.
Like I keep it
Okay,
short. Like if I had
okay,
it long like
okay.
you, no, I wouldn't be able to do like what I want to do. So that's why I
Okay.
keep it short. Like I get it cut. I mean, if I go a month without a haircut, like I typically get it cut like
That's a long time.
a month, every 5 weeks or so. Well, it didn't grow that much, but like
That makes sense.
a little
Yeah,
bit
that's
longer
normal.
than this. No, I'm done.
Damn.
Mario just wakes up and says, "What's up?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Your boy needs a good haircut and a shave. Not gonna lie.
I've recently, you know what I've been getting real into? I finally bought like I don't know about a nice razor, but a nice-ish razor, like an old single blade, like old school, like stainless steel kind of big boy where you replace the razor blades. And I've been using it in a couple days, so I got a little cheek and neck hair going on. But I mean, I love it. It's actually so nice. I guess I just always grew up using like either cheap disposable razors or like just a little like electric one that doesn't really get that close of a shave. When you actually use these things, it is like baby smooth. It's the only way I can get my daughters to kiss my cheeks. Otherwise, they tell me it's too pokey. And
Too
they
pokey.
They
My
just
my
refuse
boys
to.
were too spiky. That
Yeah.
was always the go-to.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Sorry, I derailed that. I just couldn't help. I mean, T-Ball's burying the lead.
John Jolliffe says, free Mincy. Can OTB get him back on the air for a weekly segment out? We'll see. If I'll say this. Mincy said on Twitter yesterday, I feel for my guy, Ben Mintz. He made a mistake. It was clearly a mistake. I don't think he has a hateful bone in his body, and I think it sucks to see from afar that a man who had put in a lot of work and finally got into his dream job in his favorite city and everything else. Like, it's tough, man. You see somebody accomplish their dreams, and you see it all ripped away for basically a half-second, like Ron Burgundy-esque moment. So I feel bad for Mincy. I don't think he deserved to be fired. I also want to be clear, though, look, because I tweeted this, and there's a ton of people in my mentions like, he just read a lyric. What? They could say it. I am not in that crowd, okay? It is a mistake. You can't say that word under any circumstances. The only part that I don't like is that according to his former bosses, is that the reality of the situation dictated that there was no wiggle room there, which does feel a bit odd. But I don't know about gambling market regulators, so I'm not going to offer an opinion there. I'm just going to say that, again, I've only had positive interactions with Ben. Like I said, I don't think he has a hateful bone in his body. I think if you watch the video, it was obvious that it was nothing malicious. It was a literal Ron Burgundy F-up. And but again, do not paint me in the, it's not a mistake. He just read a song there. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. You can't say it, no matter what. But it just sucks that everything comes crashing down because of that slip-up. So I feel for him, man. That sucks. And, we'll definitely be with him or for him.
Actually, I heard from him last night. He's in good spirits as far as because that's man. It takes a lot of work to get there, and he was doing so well and all those type of things. But Mincy has always been a fighter. Mincy's always somebody that is going to continue to fight. So he was at least in good spirits.
My number is congrats to guys like T-Bob that empowered and cower the woke mob who believe symbolism in one word and one song is more important than the rest of one's actual actions. Okay, look, that's called misdirected anger. You can, go yell about your wokeness wherever you want to or whatever. The guy that fired him was actually the Pin Gaming boss, right? Like, so if you want to be mad at someone, be mad at the Pin Gaming boss who claimed that gambling regulators were going to take their license if they didn't, okay? So, who are you actually mad at? Are you mad at gambling regulators? You mad at Penn Boss? Because I know you ain't mad at me. But then again, I do see you in here every day, and you got, just awful opinions pretty consistently. So you probably are mad at me. I just think you're an idiot for it. Who's not an idiot, though? My guy, Mincy. So I'm sorry, man. And, hey, maybe we can get our old degenerate back on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we get our old degenerate back on here as our resident gambler. We got a little Kentucky Derby coming up Saturday. Boys, I cannot wait to bet the ponies. Start bugging the Oddfather for exacta boxes and whatnot.
That would be great. Before we move on, if I could just talk about Mincy for a second.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, go ahead.
Mincy's a beast. He's going to land on his feet. I actually worked with him before he got the job at Barstool. He was Jimmy's co-host, and I was the producer of their show. And his rise was really something to behold. I think it's almost kind of inspirational for younger people trying to get in the field. You're only one moment, you're only one person seeing you away from doing something special. So his rise was really something to behold, and I'm confident Mincy's gonna land on his feet.
Egotter one says it's not hard, guys. Don't say the word. Not just fine. Just saying. Yeah, no, look, I agree. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, to be clear, I
you
understand
cannot, should not.
Yes, and I understand that, like, even without malicious intent, right, if you say that word, there are going to be repercussions, right? It's just that I think that we can all understand screwing something up badly and hoping that we get shown some more grace, or at least that, like, the context of our actions we're taking into account. But it is what it is. I don't care. I just mainly want to say that we support Ben, and that's definitely, that was tough to watch from afar. Other things we're talking today. So we got LSU baseball. A lot of baseball talk coming up with Jay Johnson is there heading over to Auburn. Brian Kelly believes in saying graduate champions, Jake. And I think there's a pretty interesting news piece that shows maybe just how far LSU has fallen when it comes to academics. And we'll be able to directly see whether or not Brian Kelly can right this ship over the next couple of years. Plus, also this hour, guess what we got, boys? We got an ESPN post-spring college football top 25. Who does not love yelling about who should be in the top 10, top 5, 2, 3, 7, all of that? Well, I do, and we're going to do that all on this hour. So coming out with us here on OTB, it's going to be a fun morning, man, 7 to 10 a.m. Like Mario laid out, a ton of great guests. And remember, Chef Johnson there at 9:15 with Munchies as well. We'll be back with more OTB next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. If you're looking at the website right here on the youtube.com/1045 ESPN stream, you can see All-Star Express, right, where you can actually order your vehicle right there from the website, and you can customize it whichever ways that you want. That's all well and good. I'm more of a, in a purchase like this, Jake, more of a face-to-face person. And I love the team over there at All-Star Toyota. Go see them off of Airline Highway Day, All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com.
Yeah, if you're buying, if you're leasing, if you're renting, they truly are a one-stop shop because they have everything available for you in all of those processes. So if you need something bigger, maybe you've already got your summer vacation planned. Well, go ahead and plan to have a bigger Toyota, maybe Sequoia, maybe Sienna, different options for you. If you want something smaller, maybe it's a weekend getaway. I tell you all the time, I don't know that world. T-Bob doesn't know that world, but you might know that world. You can rent that as well. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a...
It's Hunt. I'm out on Thursday, but the Hunt Palmer Show rolls on. Taylor Sharp in the captain's chair. I'll be talking to Joe Healy of D1 Baseball's SEC Extra Team, and he'll probably talk about football. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
His eyes are cold and restless, and his wounds have almost healed. And she'd give half of Texas just to change the way he feels. And she knows his love's in Tulsa, and she knows he's gonna go. Well, it ain't no woman, flesh and blood, it's that damn no rodeo. It's bulls and blood.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Esther and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 11:30 The Tiger.
All right, you lucky. You got me forgetting for one.
We are not playing
rejoin.
Star Wars. I told you.
Yes,
I got
we
this.
are.
We'll rotate. No, that is not how this works. We're halfsies.
It's May the 4th. It's one day. I'm
does
asking for
not
one
matter.
day.
No, there was another day where you played a bunch of.
No.
Yeah. Yes.
No. I'm asking for one day.
Let's put it to a vote.
And it is the Star Wars day. Okay. Yeah, let's put it to a vote.
In the chat, should we play Star Wars
poll in
music
the YouTube
all
chat.
day or every other day? Or every other song?
Yeah, or every other song. It's May the 4th be with you. Which, by the way, we're throwing a big Star Wars party at Oliver Twist tonight. It is going to be very fun.
That's the perfect place for you to play Star Wars music.
We don't play rejoin music.
Just in the background.
No. Ryan Brack says slightly disappointed Taylor's not in Star Wars gear.
I know you were talking about Hitler yesterday, but doesn't mean you have to act like Hitler.
No. Calm down.
My God.
Look. This is not a cheerocracy. Okay, it's a cheertatorship.
I feel that.
For today. I'm asking for one day of Star Wars music on the calendar year. One freaking day. What, my boys can't even, support me in this?
I think it's fair. I mean, May the 4th. I was surprised to not see you wearing anything when we walked in.
Yeah.
Lightsaber, nothing?
Yeah, I am saving my dressing up for tonight, if you will, which I encourage you to dress up if you come out of Oliver Twist. And I remember we got, Star Wars themed menu, Star Wars themed drinks. It's going to be a ton of fun.
What are you going with? Is surprise?
No, I'm not entirely sure yet, though. I have a few costumes from which I can choose, but we'll see.
Is the PD going to dress up too? I know he did last year.
So I don't know. It's a bit of a boy who cried wolf situation, right? Because last year he said he wasn't going to, and then they kind of tricked me, and then he's saying again this year that he's not. So I don't know. I can't say either day. My team wears that Star Wars Hawaiian print shirt incessantly, doesn't wear it on May 4th. Yeah, guys, it's baseball day, boys. Okay, you got to support the Tiger. Diamond Day, Thursday. Here in OG, we're talking to Coach Jay Johnson. You got to support the boys.
Hey, where is your Star Wars helmet? Took it to the office?
Yes, that is in. If I can figure out, this is my vision for tonight. If I can figure out a way to get a headset on underneath that, I would ideally like to do the entire show with my Mandalorian helmet on.
Let's see. Do y'all do headset mic?
Yeah.
Whole setup?
Yeah. It's going to be tough. It might fit, though. We'll see.
See if you can borrow Les Miles' microphone from the first game. See if the Madonna mic is still somewhere here on campus.
He wore that little tiny concert one.
Yeah.
I would.
If he lets you borrow that, you're golden.
I would definitely do that. Well, we can maybe talk a little Star Wars later. Look, I think Star Wars is in a fascinating spot right now. I think I'm someone who's a mega fan. I think the content is weird, Jake, right? Where when you're really into something, you want more of it, right? Like you consistently want more of this thing that you love so much, but there is a bit of a law of diminishing returns, One of the reasons why Top Gun 2 was so good wasn't just because it's a great movie, all this other stuff, but there was such a long wait in between. One of the reasons there was so much hype around, the relaunch of Force Awakens or Phantom Menace in '99 is because there was such a long wait in between. And don't get me wrong, I love a lot of new stuff. I thought Andor was some of the coolest stuff I've ever seen, one of my favorite shows ever, not just some of the best Star Wars ever. The 3 seasons of Mando I absolutely adore. Just fun adventures, feels like a kid playing with toys or something again, right? Last chat, so there's a ton of stuff that I enjoy, and I cannot wait for shows like Ahsoka and whatnot. But I'd be lying if I said that maybe a little, which it appears like they've canceled some stuff, so hopefully they're getting here. But maybe a little more. What's the word I'm looking for? Like a little more of a discerning attitude, maybe being a little more selective. Like maybe doing less and focusing on a little more quality over quantity, I think could potentially pay some dividends. But I will say this, I will follow Dave Filoni into the depths of hell, him and Jon Favreau, and they appear to be at the head of a lot of this kind of new direction of Star Wars, and everything they've done, I do supremely enjoy. And I'll continue to watch everything. And for the most part, it's pretty good. There's been some misses. Boba Fett was a miss, unfortunately. Obi-Wan had some really high highs, but some low lows. Then again, I think the pandemic kind of got it. But still been, I still love it, obviously.
I wish I could be with you in this conversation. I watched Obi-Wan. It
wasn't good.
Where it kind of stops. It wasn't great. Wasn't great.
It made some choices there. And they made Obi-Wan, I think, too much of a good guy. Robert Rodriguez, who normally does awesome action, normally love his style. He went for this almost campy TV style, and it was cohesive in that it felt unified in its aesthetics and how they filmed things. It just didn't hit. I don't know. I think I get what he was going for, but it just ended up looking like a poorly done 70s action show where it just took all the threat out of Boba Fett. When Boba Fett walks on the screen, you need to feel like people are going to die because his martial prowess is just exuding from him. And you did not feel that when the parkour boys corralled him with a bunch of shields and he didn't even have his jetpack on the fly. Like, what are we doing?
I mean, I felt like that when I played the video game on N64 when you got to the stage where you had to beat Boba Fett. It was almost impossible.
Flying around, shooting rockets, your little Dash Rendar just trying to make it. Shadows of the Empire, great game. And I'm excited to play the new Fallen Survivor game. Probably going to wait a couple weeks. But, I'll give you a movies ranking later. How about that? So I think Star Wars is in a weird spot. I think it's really good in a lot of ways, and I'm loving it in a lot of ways. But I do think a bit more of a discerning hand would go a long way as well. Are we listening to Star Wars?
Yeah, a lot.
Oh yeah, boy. Let's go. Okay, I got so many good songs in. Gulf South, T-Bob, how do you feel about Musso bringing on some rando on AFR to be a Star Wars trivia ringer because he said you bombed last year, LOL. Look, you got to understand, well, I mean, I would go with Chuck Pierce over anybody, first and foremost, or maybe Jesse McCormick, one of those two. Secondly, I don't claim to be great at Star Wars trivia. I have a deep appreciation of the lore. I love it. But that kind of stuff, I mean, you can go deep. That is an unending rabbit hole filled with complexity. So no, that's not my best. How about this, Jake? Speaking of not the best, what is Brian Kelly's actually main saying? They print on all the shirts, they have it on all the signs, they put it everywhere.
Graduate champions.
Well, we gonna see over the next couple of years just how real Coach BK is about that, because there is some awful academic news to report for LSU, as LSU's latest academic progress score for the football team came out, and it fell to 923 for the 21-22 academic year. Now, of course, Brian Kelly gets the job in the middle of that year, right? So the spring semester is the only place where he could have had any impact. But that score of 923, let's provide some context, Jake. That's a 10-point drop from the previous year. Normally, you're at 923, you get penalized if you fall under 930. These penalties are suspended because of COVID. That 923 is the lowest score in the SEC for the 5th straight year. And how bad is this? Second lowest is Tennessee at 946. So you're not just last, you are last by an embarrassing margin. Alabama and Ole Miss currently tied for the highest score at 995. The D1 average is 962, and you're at 923. The 923 number actually predicts that less than half of the team would actually graduate. And during the 21-22 year, they had a single-year score of 897. Pathetic on all counts. Everybody involved, from students, counselors, coaches, should be ashamed of that. Now, obviously.
The graduating part, too, though, and you know this, T, and others around LSU obviously had to go through the same thing, so it's not an excuse, but like to kind of, give an idea of, you talking about less than half. Like if you get drafted, a lot of those guys just don't graduate.
Yeah.
Or if they do, like I know for me, I did not redshirt, so I went to 3.5 years of school. I had 12 hours left. Instead of going to school, I went and trained for the combine, played, and it was 7 years later that I came back.
Yeah.
It wasn't 12, by the way. It had been knocked up to 21. So I came back 7 years later and graduated. So, some of that is that as well. When you put a lot of guys into the NFL, it's not the whole story. Alabama does and other teams do in the SEC, but.
Yeah, I mean, that would be, I guess, my counter there would be, and to be clear, what this is, it's a 4-year rolling average. So you can't just like right this ship in 1 year, right? You have to fight against the weight of the last 4 years of averages. I guess maybe some of the counterpoints there would be, definitely after 19, you had a huge draft class, but you had the big, and whatever, like you said, Alabama's number one in the conference, and they put more guys in the NFL than anyone else. And it's like, you can't have Tennessee being second to last at 946 and you at 923. And obviously a coaching change does affect this as well, because you have so many players leave and you get down to 38 scholarship players, yada, 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 whatever. It doesn't matter what's been done in the past. All that matters is what you are going to do now. And Jake, they have to get it fixed pretty significantly right now, as the COVID postponement of penalties is going to be over next spring. They're going to add that 22-23 year into there. And then the NCAA will resume handing out penalties. Why this is important? We figure LSU's kind of a potential perennial playoff team, right? In a 12-team playoff. Mm-hmm. Well, these penalties can include postseason bans, and they would start in the 24 and 25 season. So as we prepare to enter the 2024 gene, the reforging of college football, where everything changes, you do not want to be on a postseason ban because of academics. Also, I am fascinated to see just how real the graduate champions philosophy is, because, Jake, over 4 years, there is literally nowhere to go but up. So we will see we have the potential for a direct correlation between BK's process and what it means academically for these student athletes.
Yeah, I'm getting hating on for my NFLSU sweatshirt talking about graduation. I graduated with honors. Just saying, y'all don't be coming after me
boys.
With my my sweatshirt. I had a cord. It was a skinny one, but I had a cord. Okay.
Yeah, I know I did not graduate with honors. I did graduate in general studies, though. We'll see. Look, we will see. I for one, I do believe in the Kelly process. I think everything, the positive habit creation, the daily check-ins, and all things. These are all things that kind of translate to every facet of life, right? It will make you a better football player, but it'll just make you kind of a more responsible young adult and more responsible schoolgoer. Student? That's the word I was looking for. Schoolgoer. Hey, general studies. You know what am I going to say? And no, watch me out. Again, I don't think because LSU markets NFLSU that's why you suck academically. You suck academically because there was no accountability. No one was doing the work. Like, you don't turn in a sub 900 score for a single academic year in a year in which a regime got, fired. And like that tells you it was just chaos. Like nobody wanted to do what they were supposed to do. And granted, you'll now have the second half of last year and then this full calendar year under Brian Kelly to hopefully get back above that 930 minimum and avoid any penalties heading into 24-25. And then I want to see going on and on just how much bigger you can get it. So I don't know. I thought that was a bit I thought that was a bit interesting.
Yeah, that 897 and 21-22 is you have it here. Literally big yikes.
Yeah, big yikes. It's just awful. It's embarrassing, honestly. It's embarrassing to be dead last for 5 years in a row.
That's
seeing that.
There's really no excuse for that. Not for all the tools that you have, and I know that it's changed. With players leaving, coming, going, whatever. It's changed for everybody.
Yeah. Exactly. It's hot out here. Well, guess what? It's hot for them too.
Yeah.
Like old man you say.
Yeah. I was like, wasn't the strength coach you preaching over there? Because you're right. We've heard that a couple times before. And you have, like, the Cox building, great resource.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Do your work. There's And I can tell you this, not to get too deep in the weeds here. Jack Marucci, who now is like in sports science portion of it, he was the athletic trainer when we were in school, but he's moved on to sports science. And they break it down. And he was telling me not that long ago, like 03, 07, your team in 11, 19, academically were some of the best teams as far as, grade point average, as far as missed classes.
Yeah.
He said it's not that hard to correlate the two.
Well, we did have an accountable system too, right? It wasn't even just like it was all of us self-driven. Like, they were class checking you. If you had bad grades, you were in class, and if you didn't go to class, you were getting in trouble. Like, I think I think that accountability eroded there kind of post-Natty a bit. But even then, the pre-Natty score, actually, no, I think 2019 score was actually pretty good, to your point.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's it'll get fixed, and it's something that'll be fixed over time. But like, you got to take some pride at a certain point, because that's embarrassing. I know it's kind of in keeping with the state and where we rank on most things, but this feels a little more fixable than some of the other issues potentially. All right, when we get back, more OTB. Keep it locked here on 104.5 ESPN.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, so check this out, Jake. Gordon McKernan has teamed up with Coach Kim Mulkey to give away a shopping spree. You can follow him on Instagram at GetGordon. Look, there's a lot of details there we'll continue to talk about. For now, just go find Gordon McKernan on Instagram at GetGordon. Watch the video with him in his pink feather boa jacket and everything else. And then you can see the incredible giveaways that they're doing. And they're also raising a lot of money for Turner Syndrome for everybody who enters. But remember, if you need somebody who's going to fight for you in the courtroom, you want to get Gordon, he'll get it done for you. Also, check out a new entry coming out at the end of this week in the Grubbin' with G series, as another member of this fantastic LSU Women's National Championship team sits down with the G team. Gordon McKernan.
Yeah, still doing big things in all those sports. We talk about it. You got Morgan there with the baseball team. You got Dugas. You have Gavin Guidry. Check it out all online, getgordon.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come on, live Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down to
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Kendall Rogers joins us as we look ahead to LSU at Auburn and the weekend ahead in college baseball. AFR 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
And there it is, folks. The poll in the Bayou YouTube chat is complete.
Wait, I think this has been tampered. It says, should we play Star Wars music the whole show?
Yeah.
59% say yes.
Yes.
40% say no. That doesn't equal 100.
Yeah,
I know that the score for LSU is below 900 some of these years, but even I can add to 100.
Count the ballots.
That's fair. I wonder.
Do I need to get my ballot out like in Florida back in Bush and Gore and check it out?
You know what? I'll give you the 1%. We'll call it 59-41.
Okay.
Okay. So that means Star Wars Day is here, folks. Officially music all day, and we will give Jake and Elvis Day because, as we know in Star Wars, right, all things in balance, right? Force, the light, the dark, everything in balance, ideally, like the Bendu teaches us. How about this, Jake? ESPN, post-spring football, college football power rankings by our guy Mark Schlabach, who doesn't love some good power rankings to get upset about in the spring. And, when you look at them, I think there's a couple interesting things that jumped off the top. How do you want to do this? Do you want to just go through the top 10? Do you want to start by giving me who shocks you most on this list, or do you just start with that where LSU is?
I think let's go through the top 10. We can work our way down to number 1 because there's some of these teams that have changed and actually like some big jumps in some of these teams.
So you want to start at 10 and go to 1?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm down.
There's a big jump at number 10.
At number 10, You already know it. The Texas Longhorns. I mean, I know we use the Lucy kicking the football analogy a lot for the Pelicans. I'll be damned if it doesn't apply here, except there's way smarter people that continue to try to kick that ball than there are with the Pelicans. Like, at least most people just tell me I'm an idiot constantly when I believe in the Pelicans and think they're going to get it done for me. Like, the smartest college football minds in the country continue to think that Texas is getting it done for them, and they continue to be disappointed year in and year out. And Steve Sarkisian is not a good coach. I have no faith in Texas. I don't care how good the roster is. The roster's always been good. They will not win the Big 12. They will not do what you think they will.
I'd actually like to know what happened between now and then where they jumped from 16 in the previous ranking to number 10 now. Last year they were 8-5 overall. They were 6-3 in the Big 12, but what makes you think? Now, they do return their offensive production. I think it says right here. They have 9 guys returning, 6 on defense, but it's from a okay team, and you lose your most talented player without question, Bijan Robinson, to the NFL. So this feels like same thing every year. Here's Texas, top 10. You're going to finish outside the top 25.
It's like, look, man, I could definitely be wrong on this, but it's not that hard to me. Like, it's just not that complicated. Like, I would rather be wrong just using the mountain of evidence that I have that tells me that Texas will disappoint you. Like, why would I give them the benefit of the doubt? And what pisses me off is you're going to have a bunch of Atotoso people out there when they've been saying this for years, and I kind of appreciate this from just a pure sports talk take strategy standpoint, Jake, but they've been saying it for years, and then, like, eventually they're going to be right. It's like, I've been telling you.
Been telling you. Here they come.
I've been telling you. Texas, like, okay,
Texas
great.
back.
Great. Broken clock and all that.
Dude, if they say it 10 years in a row, the 10th year, you might have struck gold.
You better be right once. Even a broken clock's right twice a day, so get the hell out of here, Texas. I don't believe in you at all at 10.
No, I mean, what have you done now, like currently right now? Who have you brought in that's going to be that much of a game changer to change you from an 8-5 football team? Like, you have to go on the road to Tuscaloosa in the non-conference. There's a couple of Big 12 teams that I think are going to be better than they were a year ago. A couple of bounce-back candidates in, like, Baylor and Oklahoma. I still think TCU is going to be good, not to the extent they were this year, but they're still going to be good. They're returning the quarterback that was the starter before he gets hurt and Max Duggan comes in.
Yeah.
They have pieces left, not the same ones, but no, I think Texas is going to have a very similar year. Maybe 9-4, maybe.
Yeah. No, I mean, yes, that's where they. If they go 9-4, I would be impressed because it's better than anything Steve Sarkisian's ever done. He might have a 10-win season at some school somewhere in there. Number 9 on this list, the Clemson Tigers. This makes all sense in the world. I'm actually pretty bullish on Clemson. I think they got a great OC hire in Garrett Riley. I think they remain the most talented team in the ACC. Well, we'll see. There's a team higher on this list, so maybe not.
Yeah.
But, of course, Clemson deserves to be 9.
It feels about right. I don't think they're going to be champions. I don't think they'll be in the college football playoff. They're not to where they were when they were making it seem like every single year, but I do think Cade Klubnik is an upgrade over DJU. I certainly think that they bring in, to your point, T, a better offensive coordinator, probably the biggest offensive coordinator mind that was out there, and that's a little different from what Dabo's done the past couple of years. He's hired from within. He's been probably loyal to a fault.
Yeah.
But he makes a move, hires Garrett Riley away from TCU, says, hey, Cade Klubnik, this is your team. So DJU transfers to Oregon State. So the things, and again, if there's worse things to be than loyal, but Dabo has been loyal to a fault to some of his coaches and maybe players, and he understands that he's got to make some changes to get Clemson back to where they've been.
Yeah, and remember, DJU left and was like, that offense is boring as hell. Okay, well, maybe Garrett Riley can fix it. Number 8 in this list, Penn State Nittany Lions. With James Franklin, I'm kind of like, look, man, you have been really, really great head coach when it comes to just like pretty consistent results. Now, Penn State's had some wobbles, but again, I kind of forgive. Whether you did good or bad in the COVID year, I don't care. I kind of write it off. Like, it's such an outlier. It's such a weird year.
Certainly in the Big Ten.
And so if you look at him at Vanderbilt, look at him at Penn State, he's been uber consistent, but he just can't get over the hump at Penn State. He can't win the big games. And now you finally don't have, oh my God, how am I blanking on his name? I've watched him play.
Clifford.
Yes. Sean Clifford, after 18 years, is no longer starting quarterback.
You watched him play. Your dad watched him play.
I played against him in the 08 Capital One Bowl. We freaking lost to him.
There's no doubt.
But yeah, now everybody's talking about Drew Allar, 5-star, all this and that.
Yeah.
Like this is the year Penn State beat either Ohio State or Michigan, get it done.
Yeah, I mean, you were really good a year ago, but you were 11-2. Who'd you lose to? Ohio State and Michigan. You've got to figure out how to get over that hump. And if you don't, you can still go 11-2. You can probably play in the Rose Bowl, which is great, but you're not going to hoist national championship trophies or get into the CFP until it expands in a couple of years.
Yeah. And he just needs, like, just for fan happiness, you have to beat one of the big boys.
Yeah.
And then you got the LSU Tigers coming in at 7, which makes a ton of sense. Really excited to watch Mason Smith and Mekhi Wingo do battle next to each other once again this year. But honestly, because as Mark points out here, right, they take down Alabama, but then near lose to Arkansas, they get blown out by A&M. All this is going to have to do with how much of a step does Jaden Daniels take. And I think he looked great in the spring game. I love the reports I'm hearing. I think LSU potentially a bit lower than they should be on this list at 7.
I think so as well. There's a couple of positions, safety, maybe running back, that people still have question marks about. Like running back, you have a list of candidates, but which one of those candidates is going to step up, and can they raise their level of play from what it was a year ago? It doesn't have to be a major leap, but it does need to be a step forward there. And you have to know how to play as a favorite. You have to have a killer instinct. You can't just go out there and do it against Ole Miss, Florida, Alabama, because those games are hyped up. You got to do it against Arkansas. You got to do it against a bad Texas A&M team as well. Those are the things that you have to take care of.
We'll close the top 10 next here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Riverlands Insurance, riverlandsinsurance.com. But more importantly, 225-206-1517, 225-206-1517. That is Thomas' email, cell phone number. You hit him up. He does the shopping for you, man. Like, think about something like your home insurance, right? It's rolled into your mortgage. You probably don't even know what you're paying. Thomas gets the answers. Thomas goes to all the major companies. He finds you the best policy while saving you hundreds to thousands of dollars, and it's any type of insurance that you can need. Don't wait. Call up 225-206-1517 today.
Yeah, no matter what you've got going on, like 9 a.m. right now, like in the morning, 9 p.m. at night, like anytime you can call Thomas. Anywhere in the state as well. So 318-337-504-225-985. Like, it does not matter. Like, you can call this 225 number because Thomas can help you. He's going to answer the phone. We tell you all the time, we've been with him when he has done it. He can be in a meeting. He's going to step out. He's going to talk to you today, 225-206-1517.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Hey, it's Matt Musso. Join me Monday through Friday for your daily update on LSU baseball with Musso at the Box, presented by New Orleans Flooring. Wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Google, and check out New Orleans Flooring. 2 locations, Metairie and Prairieville, or NOLAFlooring.com.
Turn my music high, 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 yeah. You don't know what you're doing. Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. The cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clashing, chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like this Wall Street.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Wednesday edition of Game Time. We're live from Modesto, getting you ready for Cinco de Mayo. Modesto on Burbank. It's Game Time, 6 to 8 p.m. Wednesday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
You can keep it playing, Mario. You can turn it down a little bit. But Duel of Fates, arguably John Williams' greatest piece ever made. A piece of music that, were not in his Star Wars movies, would likely be considered one of the greatest classical compositions of the modern era. It's just an incredible piece of music. And if you think back to Star Wars itself, the actual Duel of the Fates, Dave Filoni has an incredible 5-minute monologue about this, but we were talking about, a duel for the fate of Anakin. And on one hand, you have Qui-Gon Jinn, right, who has seen that the Jedi have become too bureaucratic and they've kind of lost their way. They're meddling in politics instead of, trying to get back to core ethos of morally right and morally wrong. And then on the other hand, you have Obi-Wan, who will get to raise Anakin, right? Qui-Gon like the father, Obi-Wan like the brother. And Obi-Wan's a great guy and a great character, but he has not become disillusioned as Qui-Gon has. And so instead of growing up with maybe the wisdom of Qui-Gon Jinn, Anakin ends up growing up in the most bureaucratic age of the Jedi that we've ever seen. And you can all see the consequences that came from it. Shout out John Williams, the GOAT. All right, back to this Power Ranking Top 10. Number 6, you got Alabama. Jake, any surprise that Alabama's still over LSU on this?
Yes, because of the quarterback situation. You go and get a Tyler Buchner who has not done anything of note in college football. I know he knows your offensive coordinator. I know your offensive coordinator knows him, but that just tells me how bad that situation is. Yep. Jalen Milroe, Ty Simpson, Eli Holstein just not getting it done as far as what they're looking for in spring practice. And so you go and you get a quarterback, and you probably should have gone a cycle before. You should have gone in the early window when you had Devin Leary and Brendan Armstrong and Sam Hartman and all these other quarterbacks, but you waited, which I can appreciate you trusting your high school recruiting, but it failed you here. For this season. Down the road, it might be a different story with Simpson, with Holstein. We don't know that, but it failed you here. And so now, if Tyler Buchner is your starting quarterback, I'm taking LSU in that matchup right here. Like, if we're talking about, if we're putting a line on that thing, LSU is going to be the favorite, even on the road with Tyler Buchner versus Jaden Daniels.
I agree. I wonder if you were to get Vegas to put a line out there right now, what it would be at. Like LSU 1, maybe LSU 1.5, or would it be Alabama 1.5?
Maybe it might be. It could be a 2, but still, remember you get 3 for being the home team. But still, they only return 9 total starters.
No, I know, bro.
Defense
They
combined.
have nothing. They're replacing both coordinators, replacing a Hayden Travinsky winning quarterback. They're 125th in returning production.
Yeah.
For offensive defense.
Which we showed you last year throughout the football season. That chart matters.
Yeah.
TCU is returning the 6th most. Every team that had air quotes, surprise season last year, it's like, well, they're 4th on the chart. They're 5th. They're 7th. They're 10th in the country as far as returning production. That's starting to matter a little bit because of the chemistry and losing all of your team and then bringing in a brand new team with the transfer portal. That returning production is starting to matter a little bit.
So
more than it has.
I know you're absolutely correct. Ohio State 5, no surprise there.
Would be higher if they knew who their quarterback was.
Yep. USC 4. I really love what USC's done with the front 7, but it is a bit of a Lucy in the balls situation. And then this is the only one I wanted to mention here, Jake. Florida State at 3.
Yeah.
Oh boy, you want to talk about hyping up that first matchup, baby? We owe these MFers, okay? We owe them something big. And it's going to go down in Orlando to start the season. Michigan 2 and Georgia 1, of course.
I know we got to do a break, but yeah, Florida State, top 10 matchup, top maybe 5 matchup, first game of the year in Orlando. I had to wear maroon and have the Florida State and talk good about them last year. Let's don't do that again. Let's go there and let's take care of some business.
Yeah.
That game's going to be a great springboard.
I agree. Can't spell LSU without the L kid to show up again. Okay? Get that kid tickets to the game. Because I want to see a shot of him crying in the stands. F them kids. FFSU.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today. Or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look.
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Good morning, everybody. It is 8 a.m. on Thursday, May 4th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 89. Coming up on OTB, presented by All-Star Toyota, LSU softball coach Beth Torina joins the show up next. We talk to LSU baseball coach Jay Johnson at 8:30, plus Hayden Travinsky of the LSU baseball team joins the show at 9 a.m., and we talk to Tulane sideline reporter Maddie Hudak at 9:30. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio. Now.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. T-Bob, Jake, Mario, Taylor hanging out with you this morning. It's actually from Manda, a little Ludwig Göransson. I don't know why this version of Open the Door is different than mine that I was trying to set up, but this is a fantastic song, nonetheless. That was one of the worst parts about Mando Season 3 was Ludwig Göransson was busy scoring Oppenheimer, which, of course, you know, when Nolan comes calling, you go running. But he definitely missed a bit from this most recent series because of that. Let's go to the phone lines. Every single Thursday, we talk to one of our favorite coaches on campus, Coach Beth Torina, head coach of your LSU softball team. Coach Torina, may the 4th be with you. Do you have any Star Wars love in your heart at all?
My child is a huge fan.
Hell yeah.
So we have Baby Yoda everything, you know, backpacks and blankets and all the things. Don't worry, we're participating.
It's very. I'm very. Now I know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I know your husband is a wrestling nerd, and generally people who are wrestling nerds tend to be nerds about other things. Is he a Star Wars nerd?
He's kind of like knows a bit of everything.
Okay,
you know, one of those like he fills his brain with a lot of useless knowledge.
Me too.
You know.
Yeah. No, I do know. Like that's literally me. 100%. I can tell you more about a map of Middle Earth than I can the map of the United States.
Yeah, I feel confident in that for him, too. I mean, he can really hang in any space, like any conversation. He can, like, be in there and know it. And I kind of look at him like, how do we know this stuff? But, you know, that's the joys of being Nick Torina.
Look, dude, when you don't got to keep, like, you know, 100,000 pitching matchups in your head, okay, there's a lot of room to know about Bilbo Baggins' genealogy and how he came to inherit his house under the hill, right? These are important facts, Coach.
Okay. Well, I missed them. So
maybe not as important, arguably, as being the softball head coach and having to deal with all of these challenging matchups and whatnot. Coach, this weekend, we'll talk about last week, we'll get into this weekend, but I want to start somewhere positive here, as this is the final series of the year, and the Tigers going to be honoring some incredible seniors in Savannah Stewart, Georgia Clark, Allie Kilponen. What can fans expect this weekend for these women that have been putting it on for the purple and gold for about half a decade now?
Yeah, I hope everybody in Baton Rouge comes out and supports them because they have been huge names in this program for the last 5 years. I mean, pretty incredible, you know, when you think about all they've accomplished. But each one of them has a day this weekend, and they'll have a special video message to their friends and family, and then, you know, we'll get to spend some time honoring them. So it should be a great weekend at Tiger Park.
Well, coming up this weekend is, Coach, the Georgia Bulldogs, and every week when we talk to you, it's like, okay, which top 15 team are you going to play out of the SEC this week? And, you know, that's just kind of what it is, and Georgia is one of those teams, and they're coming in really hot. I mean, they have won, I believe, 6 games in a row, so kind of give us a book on your scouting report for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Well, that's good. I didn't know the 6 in a row, so thanks for that little tidbit.
Hey, got to get you ready, Coach. Coach, we got to get you ready.
Well, she didn't say 16 in a row or something, right?
True.
They come in with the best offense in the league. I mean, no bones about it. I think they're year in, year out, but they have the best offense in the league. A ton of power, a ton of depth throughout their lineup, and, you know, we'll have to try to stop them. Lucky for us, we're in the friendly Tiger Park this weekend, so, you know, we'll give it our best shot.
And if you look at last weekend against Alabama, it seemed like a lack of offense was kind of the culprit for the series. Ended up going the Tide's way. I mean, it was tough fought throughout. But that has been something that's popped up at times. I mean, I know health has been an issue. Taylor Pleasant's not being there for a while, certainly, or not being at 100%, and I probably still not at 100%, certainly an issue. But what's the approach there when y'all are getting together and you're watching film and you're saying, okay, why are we going quiet sometimes? Is it as simple as just the opponent's like pitching being really good, or have you identified anything that y'all think you can do to try to break out of that?
I mean, I would say we're facing a 3-time All-American,
yeah.
too.
Yeah, for sure.
Working on her 4th All-American season. I mean, she's pretty incredible. She had a really good day on Sunday, and you're also a product of the strike zone and what they're getting that day and how they're feeling, too. But, of course, there's some adjustments we can make. I thought we swung out of the zone, so maybe her great day was also created by us, we wanted it. I tell you what, we were attacking, we were swinging, we were going for it, but, at times maybe a little over aggressive and helping her get some calls there too.
So, Coach, we just talked about, we know what like Georgia can do as far as, in the batter's box. What about on the mound? Because you're right. I mean, Alabama obviously has one of the best in the country. What about Georgia on the mound?
Georgia on the mound, I mean, I think they have some talented arms for sure. They don't have that All-American that, we've seen the last couple of weeks with Penta at Auburn or Fouts at Alabama. But, they have some arms that are pretty serviceable. They have a 70-mile-an-hour thrower, transfer from Duke, Shelby Walters. And then, kind of their girl over the past few years is you're going to see a ton of change-ups, a lot of change of speed, just tries to keep people off balance. So, they're finding ways to keep them in games for sure.
Coach, y'all are 6-4 in your last 10 in the SEC. What are these? So you wrap up this weekend, and then what does the immediate future look like going forward past this weekend?
Yeah, we head to the SEC tournament next week, so it's like already back to 0-0. Finish this thing out. We're back to 0-0, and then reset that again the next Sunday, back to 0-0 again, waiting to see what our regional selection and what our fate really, our fate is in their hands next Sunday. So we just sit and wait. It's definitely the longest day of the year. I think they put way more than 24 hours in that day while you're waiting to hear what's your next move.
How much emphasis do you put on the SEC tournament? I know that this is kind of varying among different coaches in different sports.
I think it depends on the season you've had. It can really help you on that selection Sunday. If you go to the SEC tournament and play well, you can really improve your position. I don't think it hurts you too much in any way, shape, or form, especially if you've had the kind of season our team's had. We have a really solid resume.
Yeah.
I feel comfortable going in there of how we're going to end up, but it can help you for sure. It can give you that last-minute boost where you can make a move there on that last Sunday.
Now, Coach, I know you're somebody that also, you kind of look into the future, not too much because obviously you got to play this series and you got the SECs coming up, but when you start talking about the postseason and where you could end up in regionals and all of that, knowing you have an RPI that is in the top 10 coming in at number 8, how much planning and how much do you look in the future to see maybe where you'll end up in the postseason? Or, do you go play the SECs and you'll find out when you find out?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's just no way to know. I think all the predictions, there's just absolutely no way to know. What a tough job to sit in that room and make the decision about 64 teams. What a tough decision. I feel good with our chances to be at Tiger Park at least one more time. Of course, crossing our fingers, there's absolutely no guarantees. But, I feel good about the season we've had. I think we're presenting a strong resume. I think we have some great softball players out here at Tiger Park every weekend. So, I feel good about that. But, again, it's all in their hands.
So it is going down in Tiger Park this weekend, honoring these LSU softball seniors. It's going to be 6 p.m. on Friday, 3 p.m. on Saturday, 1 p.m. on Sunday. So whether you want to go night, afternoon, midday, there is a first pitch for you. And again, go honor Savannah Stewart, Georgia Clark, Allie Kilponen, these names that you have gotten to know so well over the past 4 to 5. So I guess with COVID, potentially even 6 years. Coach Trina, thank you so much. Best of luck at Tiger Park this weekend. And we will, I guess we'll be talking to you in the middle of or after SECs. We'll line it up next week.
I love it. Thank you guys for what you do.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, Coach, take it easy. Coach Beth Torina, head coach of the LSU softball team, again, closing out with the hottest team in the SEC right now, Georgia Bulldogs, like Jake said, winners of 6 in a row, and they hit. They hit quite a bit.
Yes,
so LSU's offense going to be challenged to try to keep up. Zach Lindsweisen and T-Bob in his best Star Wars garb.
He's saving it.
Saving it for tonight. Yeah. Saving it for Oliver Twist tonight. If you want to come hang out, we got a full Star Wars themed menu, drinks, everything. It's going to be so sick, dude. I'm super pumped.
We mentioned LSU's RPI. It is number 8 in the country right now because of the strength of schedule they've played and, of course, their record of what they've done and teams they've beaten in the top 25 of the RPI. The latest projection that I've seen as far as what the postseason is going to look like, they would be hosting. They'd be the 8th overall seed. Now, that's subject to change. What happens with Georgia? What happens in the SECs? But right now, they would be the 8th overall seed. It'd be in Tiger Park, and that would be with Louisiana Lafayette. That would be with McNeese State, and that would be with Princeton.
Okay.
I mean, that'd be a pretty salty regional.
Wait, LSU would be the 8th overall seed?
Yeah, that's what it has right here in this prediction.
Is that the same as baseball? It's a national seed?
Yeah.
Like all the way through the supers? Oh, okay.
I mean, that's what.
Yeah.
And so, but because of their RPI.
No, I know. That's.
But
just,
I mean, McNeese has beaten them this year. Obviously, ULL's gotten them once this year, so that'd be a salty regional there. But they would be hosting.
I mean, it's kind of crazy. They're 38-13 overall, 11-10 in conference. You got a bunch of people talking trash in the chat, but I mean, if you get a national seed with that, I mean, tell me that doesn't tell you just how strong this conference is. But ultimately, if you want that national seed, you're going to have to take care of business this weekend. And like Coach Torina just alluded to, you're probably going to have to sprinkle a little SEC tournament fairy dust on top. All right, when we get back, we'll do a little OTB, and then we're going to talk to Coach Jay Johnson coming up here at 8:30. Keep it locked on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $15,000 off all new 2022 1500 SCA trucks. And all new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come home in Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down the.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Cut through the static and listen to 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge in high definition. Simply tune to 98.1 and select HD2.
Small sliders, cheeseburger sliders, shakes, and fries. Come slide through. Now open in Denham Springs.
Live play-by-play this weekend. The Rays host the Yankees Saturday at 3, and the Lakers host the Warriors at 7:30. Then on Sunday, the 76ers host the Celtics at 2:30, followed by the Padres and the Dodgers at 6 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 11:30 The Tiger.
Woo! This is probably my favorite piece from the sequel trilogy. 789, Ray's theme. Still think Ray's a great character, even if I disagree with the lineage they gave her. Reminds me what it was like being when in theaters when The Force Awakens came out. What was it, like 2015 now at this point? Maybe 16? I was doing radio. I was doing night radio at WWL. I got off at midnight, Jake. And I went to Harvey, Louisiana to see a 1 a.m. showing of Force Awakens. I'll never forget the anticipation. Text line was popping. People talking about how good it was. And I rolled up in there, drank like a giant 24-ounce energy drink. At the time, too, I used to get a cold brew with with a double shot of espresso in it, and sometimes take like some ADHD medicines, and so the energy drink was just even more taxing on my heart, and I thought I was going to explode because I was having so much fun in the movie. Now, granted, they didn't fulfill the promise of Force Awakens or the potential that they had. I feel like in Last Jedi they did, but I know that's a controversial opinion, but I'll be damned if watching that night in Harvey was a night that I'll remember forever.
I can hear Danny objecting from here. About Last Jedi.
Yeah, I mean, you can hear everybody. You know, it's. I think while more people over time have come around to my side, I think it's still a minority opinion that Last Jedi is good. I think it's better than good. I think it's great, but chances I think cocaine would have been easier on your heart. Probably. It was a lot. It was a lot. But hey, you got 4 hours to do in the summer, solo, 8 to midnight. You know. You got to do what you got to do to just keep talking.
You did 4 hours solo?
Yeah, Christian Garrick had so much vacation banked up at the time. He'd been working there like 10 or 15 years that he would take like 4 or 6 weeks or something, and he would take all of it during the summer. And so, yeah, there were a lot of, I know some of you maybe used to join me back in the day for a little Midnight Madness, final hour of the show where you just call, we can talk about anything, just a bunch of drunk people calling up. It was very fun. Very fun.
How much would it take for you to go back to that?
8 to midnight?
Yeah.
A lot of money. A lot. I mean, I'll do anything for more money, right? Like, you pay me enough money, I'll throw on Houndstooth, and I'll be in T-Town tomorrow next to Ryan Fowler talking about how this Alabama team's going to get it figured out. and all this national media with their bad headlines trying to tear us down. Mario, you're raising an eyebrow. You're an idiot. If somebody was going to double your salary to go do Alabama radio and you wouldn't do it.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. You'd have some personal history with them, maybe. I thought maybe be a little too much for you to go work for them.
You know what I care more about than anything else in the world? Yeah, I'd go for double.
Okay. If that's your point of view, fair.
Yeah. I want to make money and I want to provide for my family. And if somebody's going to double up what I'm being paid, I'll do whatever they want.
Dude, I'd be like 2 episodes in. I'd be like, I'm out.
It'd be like,
I'm out of content. I'm done.
Maybe I would learn the lesson that so many others have, that if you go chasing paper over everything, you end up, you end up being miserable. But that's something that I would have to learn firsthand. If you were going to double like the money, that is the literal golden handcuff, right? It's the offer that you can't refuse. And a lot of times that monkey's paw does curl and you end up miserable, but we'll see. Bilbo, is Cody T. Cans last night or what? No. It's going on tonight at Oliver Twist, May the 4th. Again, come out, wear Star Wars gear. It's going to be so much fun. We can be nerding out all night long.
How much nerding out is Moscona going to allow? Is he going to try to, throw Star Wars to the side? So you're going to fully buy in again? Because he bought in last year, right?
Well, he bought in last year for the bit, not necessarily for the content of the show. So, I don't know. He actually has, out of all the nerd stuff, the only thing he really takes an opinion on are Star Wars.
Okay.
As he's seen, I think, most of them. But probably not too much. I'll probably be doing a lot of monologuing if we get into that.
Yeah.
Is it also Cinco de Mayo? It is Cinco de Mayo
Tomorrow.
Eve. Huh.
Tomorrow.
How about that? I forgot. Ooh, Marg's tomorrow? Hell yeah, dude. That sounds very fun. What are people talking about? Classical music in the chat right now? Daniel Blunt says, it's a great one. I feel like the American go-tos are Bach, Mozart, Beethoven, Baroque, and Romantic composers. Ever listened to Gymnopede? I have heard. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know classical well enough to speak about it. I do know that somebody put me on Holston, the Planets by Holston. Those are very good. But I can't pretend to know classical music there. Jake, what's your favorite Star Wars movies of all time? The only one you've seen?
Excuse me, sir. I've seen 2.
Okay, have you? Which one?
I've seen the original.
So A New Hope?
I've seen Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, okay. Okay, not a bad 2.
And Empire Strikes Back was better.
Probably 1 and 2 on my list. I agree. And look, the vast majority of Star Wars fans that you'll be talking to agree with you, right? Empire is kind of the traditional best Star Wars movie out there. And I see why. When they had the 40-year, speaking of which, is Return of the Jedi going on right now? I got to double check. But they re-released it in theaters last year for the 40th year anniversary. Went and saw it. And Empire is a expansion of the universe that had to be mind-blowing when it came out.
At the time, yeah.
In terms of building on the promise of A New Hope and everything they laid out in 77. But I remain an origin story guy. I think my list still goes New Hope 1, Empire 2 in terms of the Skywalker saga. Champ says Tombstone's the best Star Wars movie. You're not far off because ultimately those spaghetti westerns and all those westerns highly influenced Star Wars. Like Star Wars is an amalgamation of fantasy, western, and sci-fi. And I think it works because of that, right? Like if you want pure sci-fi, you go to Star Trek. It's very philosophical. It's very high-minded. Really, Jake, when you think about it, Star Wars is just like Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones, right? It's quite literally like a prince sort of magic wielder, like a prince wizard going to rescue the princess from the Dark Lord. Yeah. It is true, but just like, hey, let's paint spaceships and lasers on it.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe it is the spaceships, maybe it's the lasers, maybe it's space. Because you know me, like Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings, sign me up for every single one of them. I am all for that. I actually like most things in that time period are kind of in the same, era, like whatever you would call those. I know they're like not in the same, but like a lot of the costumes look the same. Some of the sets look the same as far as.
You're just talking about fantasy.
Yeah,
fantasy.
Right.
That's just the fantasy genre, absolutely.
Right.
Like even the Dungeons & Dragons movie, which I love, and I bought yesterday, and you all need to buy and watch it Because it's like $20 to rent, $25 to buy, so you might as well just
have
buy
it.
it.
Yeah.
But
can't have money.
They actually filmed. Shut up. They actually filmed the city scenes in King's Landing, in the exact same real life city that they did.
Okay.
So yes, so your point is very well made.
So like for me, like I am all for that. I don't know why I never got into Star Wars, because I like a lot of the same things that you like. That's really the only one. And it's not like I don't like them. I've tried and tried and tried to get into them, and maybe I waited too long because when you go back and you try to watch the originals, obviously, like it's not going to look.
There are parts now. I think visually, I will say visually, I still think it's stunning. I think the original
Empire Strikes Back is
in their 4K. I think even New Hope in its 4K up-res just looks like.
I remember watching A New Hope being like, it's over. Like the ending was kind of like
it's tight.
Yeah, the ending was like.
It's tight, though. That's what I like about New Hope. It actually got a beginning, middle, and end. I love Empire, but Empire is very much a bridge. There's no actual closure to anything that's in it. But no, visually, Empire is even more stunning. And obviously, because they had way more investment and ability to build up their techniques. But how they were able to make A New Hope look and these techniques they developed just will never not blow my mind. And I think it holds up well. I think the parts maybe don't hold up well is, Luke's kind of like whiny to a humorous degree. And if you're coming to Star Wars for the first time as an adult, like I look back on Luke's like, I was going to go to the Tasha station to pick up some power converters. Like I look on that very nostalgically, but I can see how if you're watching it the first time, you're kind of like, I don't think this is very good. Yeah. But I love it. I absolutely love it.
That's all that matters.
And we'll get to our, we will get to our top 9 ranking next, but coming up next, let's get to Coach Jay Johnson, head coach of this LSU baseball team. Call Coach Jay about the trip to Auburn this week and keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to ITI Technical College, iticollege.edu. The place has been changing lives for the better for 50 years, and check it out, man. Chances are you probably know someone who graduated from ITI, and you've seen them go on to flourish, okay? They got that AOS degree, and then they got a career that pays well, that sets you up for life, for retirement, for all of these things that become so anxiety-inducing, these burden. What am I going to do? You feel like you're in a job, you want a career, you want ITI, the locals, local family-owned, y'all, right there off of Airline Highway for 50 years. If you're looking for that direction, you're looking for that life path, go sign up today, iticollege.edu.
That is the website. Here is the number to call, 225-267-8003. Have a conversation with the missions. Tell them what you're looking to do. They are going to help you. That is why they are there. They are there to help you get to that finish line we always talk about, always online, iticollege.edu.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Turn my music high, 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 yeah.
You don't know what you're doing.
Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. And cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clashing, chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like it's Wall Street.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good looking.
Hey, it's Hunt. I'm out on Thursday, but the Hunt Palmer Show rolls on. Taylor Sharp in the captain's chair. I'll be talking to Joe Healy of D1 Baseball's SEC Extra Team, and he'll probably talk about football. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
So I used to feel when I walk into Big Sky. Down there in Auburn, looking around all confused. What's going on? The LSU baseball team getting ready. Travel to Plains. Right now, let's talk to one of our favorite. He's so busy, and he makes time for us every single week. Of course, I'm talking about head LSU baseball coach, Coach Jay Johnson. Coach, what's going on? If you hear the music, it is May the 4th. May the 4th, it's Star Wars Day. I'm guessing you know the answer here, but I don't want to judge a book by its cover or anything. Do you have any Star Wars opinions, a movie that you've seen, one that you enjoyed? Are you at all any bit of a Star Wars nerd?
Not really a nerd, probably. I probably was Yoda one Halloween when I was like 6 years old or something.
Hell yeah. Okay, hey. That counts, man. Just send us the picture. Just send us a picture. We can put it out there. Coach, before we look forward to this weekend, obviously I want to go back to last weekend. And look, the midweek was fantastic, obviously, this week. And we can get into Gavin Guidry and the role that y'all asked him to play. But last weekend, man, sweeping a very good Alabama team. So exciting. And one of the key members behind the sweep is somebody who I just can't get enough of thinking about this week. And it's Alex Milazzo. And it's everything that he did. It's everything from his play defensively, his play offensively, and even what he had to say after the series ended on Sunday. He's just so representative to me of what it feels like y'all are trying to build as a team. But let's start with the offense, right? For Milazzo, something that he was a broken man, it felt like earlier in his career, just could not figure it out on the plate. And he talked about how y'all basically rebuilt him from the ground up in terms of form, mental performance coaches, all of these things. What has the process been like with Alex to get him to now he's batting like, I think like 360, maybe 370. He's taking walks, getting on base. What has that process been like?
Yeah, Alex has done a great job. He's a great baseball guy. What I mean by that, he's got a great mind. I've told him he'll be a really good coach someday. I think he's going to play for a long time because of his defensive catching skill. But he's just taking things one at a time and continue to improve. I feel like last year before he got hurt, we got the swing better, and he just needed some reps and approach. And getting hurt in Game 9, we didn't get that last year. But he got right back to work and has done a great job. I think you nailed it. It's just whatever type of at-bat we need, that's what he's given us. And usually hitting ninth has turned over the lineup really well, and that top of the order is as good as anybody. And so that's invaluable. Done a great job catching, as all three of our catchers have. Does a great job leading the pitching staff. and has just been all in on the team. And that's the best quality of all of our players right now. But Alex really typifies that.
Well, and so, Coach, it's so every coach likes to have their kind of slogans, right? And we've talked about it a lot on this show, and you've told us about yours, right? Whether it's like in these Sundays games, boys, we got to empty the tank, treating every game like a playoff game. Don't accept in winning what you wouldn't accept in losing. I was happy to see that when Alex Milazzo was doing his post-series interviews on Sunday, unbidden, he brings up all of these things. It's got to feel a bit validating as a coach, or does it, to hear the leaders on your team, kind of buy into these messages sincerely, instead of just like parodying them or kind of be like, yeah, okay, whatever. It seems like they've sincerely bought in.
Yeah, and that's been great since the second I've been here. And, part of the appeal in coming here and taking this job was there was going to be some good players that we had for at least 2 years. And that gives you a chance to establish a foundation. And, I credit Alex a lot. I mean, he wasn't the clear-cut starter. And when you're older in your career, that's sometimes tough to deal with. But there's been no speed bump. And there really shouldn't be, because he's played in just about every game, or almost every game, and can positively contribute no matter what. And I couldn't be happier for his individual success. And his individual success has really helped the team. And that starts with his mindset and attitude. And you're right, as a coach, it is great to hear those things. And you can't win at the highest level unless you have great player leadership. And we have exceptional player leadership on this team, and Alex is a big part of that.
Yeah, and Coach, I want to stay with that position because, like, Brady Neal is the starter there, and he's playing well, but he goes down. But not only Alex, but just that entire position. You mentioned three catchers, like Hayden Travinsky as well, for them to be ready whenever their number is called, whatever you need them to do, to not sulk, to not go to the end of the bench. Because you're right, they've played in games, they stayed engaged, but you know how difficult that is maybe when you're not the starter, but they've been ready, like whenever you've needed them. Alex had a big weekend. Hayden continues to hit massive home runs in big moments. Like, what's that like for you as a coach to know that your guys are also staying engaged regardless of who's starting?
It's absolutely the best, because in this day and age, it's a very me, how much attention can I get generation. Yeah. And what I've talked to the team about and our coaches about is you just have to be very intentional in building teammates, good teammates, the same way that we're building swings and pitching deliveries and all of those types of things. And we kind of knew the challenge that we would have before us with this team. We added a lot of talent, old players, new players, and getting them towards a common goal, one mission, all those types of things. That wasn't just going to happen. And everybody deserves a lot of credit for it coming together the way that it has. And it's kind of been like this snowball effect where, hey, it starts with, Dylan, he's a great player. He's a great person. And then you bring in a Paul Skeens, great player, great person. Nobody wants to let those guys down. Gavin Dugas has really good leadership quality. Nobody wants to let him down. Alex, setting the example of, hey, you're maybe a backup at the beginning, but I'm going to accept my role. I'm going to embrace my role. I'm going to be ready when that role expands. And I'm just going to make it about the team no matter what. And we have examples of that all over our locker room. And it's kind of probably an untalked about portion of this team's success.
Well, and you're continuing to see growth in areas too, Coach. I know certainly for us fans, it was very exciting to see Thatcher Hurd string together 2 nice outings, especially getting down a very high leverage SEC spot. How are you feeling about Thatcher Hurd now coming off of a big weekend against Alabama?
Yeah, I feel great. I think I could kind of see it coming. We made a couple small adjustments that I thought would put him in a good place. And, this has happened with a few guys this year. You could kind of just look out of the dugout onto the mound. And it's a key situation. The tying runs on second base, the go-ahead runs on first base. And he just comes in there with complete poise and control of himself and starts executing pitches. And you can see the process and the control of himself, which leads to control of his pitches. And I felt like we were in a good spot. Then the offense came and scored 3 more to give us a little breathing room right there. And then it was a really quick 9th inning. I like those low drama innings like that. Yeah. So I'm excited for him to keep stacking those.
Yeah, Friday was one of those. Just one pitch away. It just kept being one pitch away, and then finally, okay, let's get out of here. Coach, so you mentioned Thatcher Hurd, right, handling himself with poise there, and something Alex talked about was the mental development at the plate, right, and hiring mental coaches to get you ready for those moments. What does that actually look like in both pitching and hitting?
Yeah, I think for us, it's a couple things. It's number one, staying present, staying focused on the task at hand. And, I say this to the players all the time, is the game of baseball doesn't change a whole lot. And what's required to be successful, the problem is the people playing the game change. Their mindset, they add pressure, tension, anxiety, all of those types of things. And all it does is distract from your job. And so what we try to do is help them build the very, very solid routines, help them, deal with failure better, deal with success well, and not come off of what makes them their best. And this game, it is definitely the most challenging in that regard, because the 12 seconds between pitches can set you apart as an elite player, or it can really, really screw you up. And so we want to make sure that we're constantly driving it home, giving them resources to help them be at their best mentally. And you got some old players that have learned also from some success and some failure. And if you coach them the right way and give them those resources, they can take advantage of it. And Alex is a perfect example of that.
Coach, you're about to hit the road again, traveling to Auburn to take on the Tigers, and they're coming off a big series win as well. Kind of give us a book, maybe what to expect from that team.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time last night, obviously, on them. Offense playing really, really good. A good leadoff hitter, and Chris Stanfield. He's a very disruptive player. We need to keep him off base. Another freshman, Ike Irish, one of the better freshmen in the country, left-handed hitter. Bobby Pierce, that guy swings for the moon every time he takes a rip. Ware is having a really good season, McMurray. So the lineup is really, really good. They're playing with a lot of confidence. I mean, you could make an argument they should have swept. The first two of those games, they kind of dominated them, to be honest with you, and we're ahead in game 3. So it's going to be a great challenge. And, they've kind of moved themselves from fighting for their life for a postseason berth where – they're moving their way back into they could potentially host with a good finish. So we're going to get their best shot. And that's another thing about our team that I like is we've taken just about everybody's best shot and find a way to keep standing at the end of these weekends. And we're going to have to play our best to win one game or win a series this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, look, this team is nothing if not resilient. And they have proven that time and time again. They're just addicted to winning. Coach, it's kind of funny, you get in the flow of a season and sometimes you almost have to take a step back and look at everything that's happened. And I was shocked when Gavin Guidry was talking about how basically he just started pitching seriously in January. I mean, he's kind of been thrust to the forefront in such a way that it was like, okay, this was always a plan. But then I think, no, like this has only gotten here because of just these stacked injuries. And it's kind of insane that Guidry is where he is when he's this fresh to it. What can you say about his development and kind of what was the idea behind giving him the start in the midweek this week?
Yeah, it's kind of a cool story. Like right around the draft last summer, and he was definitely a draft prospect. He was maybe a little concerned that we would just make him a pitcher, and that was what we were going to do. So I actually went the other way and said, hey, man, you're not throwing a pitch in the fall. Like let's go for this thing on the position player side of it. See what we can do. He's a terrific athlete. He can really run, can defend. As he gets stronger, he'll be a good hitter, all of those types of things. So we went all in on that side. Well, in the meantime, at the beginning of the season, obviously nobody's playing better shortstop in college baseball than Jordan Thompson. Yeah. Gavin Dugas has really, really played well at second base. Like those guys are going to be the field. And so in December, he actually called me over Christmas break and said, hey, what do you think about maybe, me starting to pitch? And I was like, I like it, but we got to go slow with this deal. Yeah. And so we really, really were deliberate in how we built him up. And then he came out against Butler on Friday night. And I mean, he looked like, holy cow, like this guy's special on the mound. And then when some of the injuries happened, it just kind of became more of a necessity. And then it's like, okay, we have to keep him healthy if we're going to pitch him. He has to have his legs underneath him. That's what our team needs right now. And he's been a great teammate again, as far as accepting and embracing his role for right now. and really executed well. As far as giving him the start, eventually I think he could do it, whether that's later this year or in 2024, 2025, whatever. So Wes and I were honestly kind of curious to see how it looked, and honestly think that's the best he's looked in his last few outings. So it was really good to see.
Coach, how difficult is that when you have a two-way player, when you have someone who's just, pretty much the same person in the field, in the lineup that he is on the mound? I feel like Paul Skeens, what he did at Air Force with the bat in his hands. Like, what are those conversations like? Is it, hey, this is what this team needs, and then you have the conversation with the student athlete?
Yeah, so we talk about it with the two-way player all the time. Is like, you could be a two-way player. The only way you're not going to be a two-way player is if it's not what's best for you. And that will be a mutual decision. That is not just a one-way Coach Johnson type decision. Yeah. So with Paul, Paul could really hit home runs. If he just was a position player, he would hit 20 home runs on the season. Like, no question about that. But what we saw and found as we were pulling back some of the position player thing, the pitch development really started to take off. Like, he's not the same pitcher he was a year ago at Air Force.
Right. True.
And when you think about the load of catching or rotating and swinging, 18 times or 15 times in a weekend, that's a big load. And I think he started to see, by pulling that back a little bit, his body felt better, his arm felt better. Well, then now he starts ascending, and he's like, can pitch for a major league team in the playoffs. It's like, all right, let's make sure we're taking care of you, because you're really taking care of us every time you take the ball every Friday.
Yes, which is a great reminder as we close this out to buy tickets or watch the show, guys. We only have 3 weekends left to enjoy it. Do not let these opportunities go by. It's just so fantastic. I cannot wait to be posted up with the fellow dads in the neighborhood watching the Paul Skeens show tomorrow night. It is the best. Coach Johnson, thank you so much for waking up with us this morning, and best of luck as y'all travel to Auburn.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks, Coach.
You too. Yes, sir. Dude, that's the Paul Skeens show, man. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, if you're going to be like the number 1 overall pick, which is going to be him or Cruz, I understand maybe backing off the hitting side of it. 20 home runs, though.
Yeah, we said that. Okay. We got Hayden Travinsky is going to join us in about 15 minutes from now. I just want to ask him what it's like to catch Paul Skeens right now compared to because he's caught a lot of really high-end pitchers. But what Skeens is doing right now is, he's far and away the best pitcher in all of baseball.
It's not even close.
He has really separated himself, and so for him to, hey, this is what I'm going to be. Could I imagine T-Bob being able to hit 20 home runs and knowing that, but you know what? I can do this as a pitcher. I can maybe even get drafted number 1 overall. I love to hit, but I also love to go out there and dominate on the mound.
Yeah, it also does even give you, though, a further appreciation for someone like Ohtani, right, who can be so dominant in both and can actually be justifiable in doing both. Be very interesting to see where Gavin Guidry goes, too, now as this all goes on. More OTB closing in hour number 2 next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at Front to Back Boat Service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front to Back Boat Service.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come on, live Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down to
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Kendall Rogers joins us as we look ahead to LSU at Auburn and the weekend ahead in college baseball. AFR 3 to 6, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
King Palcatula minta rutra pakahanta ya. No, chinka marota kanana. Welcome back. A little Arabashi for you. OTB. Tell me this song doesn't make you want to get a little sideways, Jake.
Hold on, let me hear.
Turn it up. Imagine just drinking, hanging out.
It's good vibes.
Great vibes.
I like it. Don't they have this in like Disney, Universal, something?
Oh, hey. What's going on?
Fun. Cantina theme.
I mean, this would get me going if I was Bing Crosby in 1920, maybe.
What? Yeah, that's what it is, man. A little old school. Do you got no appreciation for the classics?
I'm sorry.
How Mario is bouncing right now.
I think it's fun.
Makes me want to do anything but have a good time.
Not shimmying enough.
Good. Goodness.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm going to get hammered listening to this tonight. Come out to Oliver Twist.
I honestly, I do kind of appreciate the fact that like this gets you hyped.
So hyped, dude. This makes you want to make some bad decisions, do a little swing dancing with your gal.
Yeah, I mean, it's not full 20s. Like, there's not enough horns for it to be appreciated for like a 20 sound. I need more horns. It's like I feel like the horns are about to come, and then it kind of goes away. And then they're about to come, and then it goes away. I need more horn.
Oh, what? What's that right there then for you, bro?
You know what I mean.
Was that Nova?
You know what I mean. Yeah.
I love it so much. Yeah, get a little loosey-goosey. I will say this. It is a good fun mood. I agree with Joe. I will say this, too. The next time you go to Disney, Jake, did you get to go to Oga's Cantina? It's not the exact same, but it's actually pretty. It's because it's new, right? It's supposed to be like a new cantina to the Star Wars part of the park. But Oga's is very fun. It's got music like this. You kind of hang out. You get you get like 2 or 3 drinks. You get a little buzz on. Like everything at Disney, you have to reserve it way ahead of time, and if you don't, you're never going to get in. But I think it's very fun.
Yeah. Yeah, fun.
Danny Bass, you're going to be like, shoot first. I always shoot first.
Always need more horns.
I feel like there was a completely acceptable amount of horns in there.
Nah, low. They were real low, almost like they were half stepping with the horns.
No.
Toe dipped in the water, not fully submerged. Not really. That was better.
That's crazy.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Yeah, I'd stay in that canteen all day too, Joey. Hey, go to Rejuve Me Medical. How about that? RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. It's impossible for me not to feel a bit nostalgic with all the Star Wars talk, right? Because, like a lot of things that we get nostalgic for, Jake, it helps me capture that youthful, energetic feeling mentally, but not physically. What if I could physically feel like that boy who saw Star Wars in theaters back in the day and saw Empire and saw Luke, upside down, captured by the cave Yeti on Hoth? Well, I can. Thanks for Rejuve Me Medical. I can, or at least can get close to there. Just doing a little upkeep of bodies. Go get your free consultation today. Get your labs drawn and help them put together a customized plan for you to feel better.
RejuveMeMedical.com is the website. Get your consultation set up. Also, look at the conditions they can treat. Long list there. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $15,000 off all new 2022 1500 SCA trucks. And all new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Turn my music high, 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 yeah.
You don't know what you're doing.
Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you can run the slalom. The cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clashing, chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like it's Wall Street.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Thursday, May 4th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 89. Coming up on OTBOT, we talk to Hayden Travinsky of the LSU baseball team up next, and Maddie Hudak, Tulane sideline reporter, joins the show at 9:30. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. OTBOT, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
How appropriate to play the Imperial March as we talk to one of the key members of this team that continues to impose their will on the rest of the SEC galaxy. Hayden Travinsky, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for joining us this morning. How you feeling?
I'm great. Thank you guys for having me.
Hell yeah, dude. I got to say off the bat, man, I'm 34. Okay, I'm a father of 3.
Yeah, T-Bob's a young man.
And yet I've got this little boy mustache that won't connect to my beard. And my God, man, you have got a thick, beautiful mustache. I mean, you gave off like Dr. Disrespect vibes there at the plate.
Oh, that's the best compliment you can give me.
Okay, there you go. I figured that you might. I mean, I cannot tell you. I said it on the show the other day.
You did. You put up a picture, T.
Yes,
you
dude.
did.
He looks exactly like the
That's
doc.
perfect.
The 2 times.
Thank you. That's perfect.
Yeah, man. Hey, we'll get into your story, everything else. How are the boys feeling in the clubhouse right now? What are the vibes, man? Coming off a couple massive sweeps, including what an impressive one over Alabama. What are the vibes going in Auburn this weekend?
We're excited. We're excited for a good weekend, fun weekend. They came into our place last year and gave us a run for our money, so we're looking to have a good weekend.
Hey, I want to ask you just about like the team vibe, because like no matter like what the situation is, Hayden, and you're a perfect example. Like whenever your number's been called, like you go out there and you produce. Alex has been the same way, certainly at that catcher position, but it's really been across the team. Like when you need an arm to step up, like a couple of different guys have stepped up at different times. That's not easy. That's not something that you can just force. I mean, it has to happen organically. So, like, the vibe in the locker room just feels like it has truly been just a team vibe. Whatever I can do, I'm not going to pout if I'm not playing. I'm going to go out there, and when my number is called, you best believe I'm going to produce.
Right, and that was a big emphasis coming from Coach Johnson. And I think the perfect storm just happened where we got guys from the transfer portal that were good people and good players along with that. And we had remaining players that gel. And I think you said it perfectly. It's not about anything else but what we can do to help the team win.
Hey, we got to talk about that Game 3, down to the last strike, 3-run bomb from a couple of weeks ago. I mean, I remember I was sitting there, I'm on my back porch and watching the game, and I'm already doing the mental stuff, right? I'm always like, it's okay, man. You won the series. It's a great job. I'm like already like trying to make peace with it. And then all of a sudden I'm running around yelling, going crazy. Take us into the mind of when you're asked to just basically walk in cold and save the game. Like what's going through your head in that pinch hit opportunity?
I'll walk you through the entirety of what happened.
Hell yeah.
I was in the bullpen for the whole day. which is what I do on my off days. So I was just down there chilling, and then I got a call to come down to the dugout, like 7th inning-ish. And then I started putting my gear on about the 8th inning, and coach was like, all right, go in the locker room. I don't want them to see you.
Oh, no way. What?
Yeah, he goes, go in the locker room. And so I'm warming up in the locker room, just swinging. And then I'm watching the game on TV, and we get 2 outs, and then Barry gets walked, and Joby gets hit. And by that time, I was just kind of peeking in the dugout, and then I figured I was going to hit for Alex. And, yeah, that's about it.
I mean, okay, so I mean the levels that Jay Johnson seems to go to like that level of strategy. So you were a literal secret weapon getting ready in the dugout. That, oh my God, I mean that's one of those hits too where you immediately knew it was gone, and then the Alabama one walking with the just a bat on the floor right afterwards. It's been impressive here as of late, man. But yeah, and I know you've touched on this through the leadership standpoint. Certainly offensively, it's got to be tough to stay ready. But what is it like defensively? Right, we catcher playing such a pivotal role and having to have relationships with the pitchers and make sure that everybody's on the same page and then working with Coach Wes Johnson. What's it like to stay ready defensively when you don't quite know when your number is going to be called?
Well, I think you said it best, where I had a long time to kind of prepare myself for what I needed to do. I've caught in the bullpen for the whole year, so I've been able to work on stuff that I need to with pitchers that obviously throw for us. So I was able to work on my stuff while I wasn't playing, and then it kind of snowballed into the game to where the stuff I improved on carried over.
Hey, and I want to ask you, and I told T-Bob I was going to ask you this, like to be able to go out there and catch like a Paul Skeens and what he's been able to do and to be the best pitcher in the country, like when you're catching a guy like that, even like in the moment, can you tell that the stuff is just completely different and hitters are just completely baffled? And even if you have an approach at the plate, like he takes that approach away, like can you feel that in the moment when you're catching a guy like that?
I'll tell you from hitting off of him that I knew what he was going to do to me, and he still got me out. I knew every time.
Yeah.
Well, and
I think for him,
go ahead.
He's got such a presence. He's got such a presence on the mound where it's a blend of focus and just relaxation, where he's just in a flow state through his whole outing. There's no worried about what if I make a mistake here? Oh, I have to do this. He's just up there executing pitch to pitch and worrying on what he needs to focus on. But there's just such a level of relaxation that I don't think I've ever seen from the mound.
Hey, and I want to ask you this. Jay just came on the show right before you, and he said if Paul was like a position player, if he was out there every day, he could hit 20 home runs. Like he's that type of guy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a quick answer. Like he's got that
kind
of
our
power.
Scoreboard in right center?
Yeah.
He's the only righty I've ever seen it hit off of it, and it was halfway up the board.
What? Bro.
Now I kind of want to see it. Like now, I need to get a pitch.
This is ridiculous, though, Hayden, because it seems like it's everybody in the lineup.
Yeah, that's true.
Like y'all have bats to spare, man. There's so much threat, both like implicit threat and explicit threat, just right there in front of your face. As I said, like bring you in as a pinch hitter, and then you're smashing. Like, what's it feel like to be a part of a lineup that just is so intimidating top to bottom? Like, can you almost sniff the pitcher's fear at times when y'all are up there at the plate?
When we stick to our plan of what we're doing at the plate, I don't think there's a lot that other teams can do to stop us, just due to the depth. And that's a lot of the reason why I came back. Just was I knew what we had, and I knew the chance to make a run at this thing, and I didn't want to miss being a part of that.
All right, so Hayden, you're traveling to Auburn today. Kind of walk us through. I mean, we're a couple of football guys, so we travel a little different. I'm always fascinated by how different sports travel.
Yeah.
So what's the travel like going to a place like Auburn? It's a couple states away.
So I think we're flying today. So I think we.
Wait, Hayden, if we don't know if we're flying yet, we're just got our bat bag ready to go.
We leave at like 10:30 for the airport, and then fly out at 11, and then get there, and then we'll practice at about like 5.
Is there any? Is there like a movie? Is there like a movie tonight or anything that y'all do together, or is it just kicking out the hotel room?
I'll be playing Pokemon on the flight there, and then
I love you.
What
What version of Pokemon were we talking?
I've been grinding Omega Ruby recently.
Oh, Mega Ruby. Okay. I mean,
I mean,
like I
is
said,
Hayden
I'm
the perfect
34.
blend here of
I
guests?
know.
I mean, Pokemon for you, 3-1 greater
Yeah,
for me. I
yeah.
mean, this is pretty good.
Knows about the two-time champ. Yeah, no, I was a Pokemon. I'll never forget getting Pokemon Blue when I was a kid, and so was Ruby. Is it silver? No, it was silver and gold, and then I think you're getting into Ruby. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember. I lost the lineage.
That's how it goes.
Okay, hell yeah, man. Out of your favorite, out of the original 3 then. Your Squirtle,
so
Charmander, Bulbasaur. Who's your favorite starter?
I think I gotta go Charizard.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's a chalk answer, Hayden. I mean, and
Yeah,
then
that's an
it's
easy
either
one.
Charizard. The actual answer is Bulbasaur. Okay?
Oh,
I don't know
are
what
you
to tell
gatekeeping this man's
I'm
Pokemon
just
answer?
telling them, look, as the old head here,
Wow.
the veteran nerd, I'm just helping my guy out. Yeah, of course, everybody thinks you want the fire-breathing dragon. No, you want the plant dinosaur. It's really bad.
Not against the fire-breathing dragon.
Yeah, I was about to say,
fair.
Yeah.
Look, I didn't say one-on-one. Okay, we're talking about a myriad
Hayden's
of
got too much
matchups.
grit to have another answer, okay?
Hayden, what about this? It is May the 4th. Are you a Star Wars fan at all? I'm just curious.
I'm not, but I love the intro.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Well, I mean, that is y'all. That is y'all
Yes.
this year. The Imperial March is overwhelming force. Like when Darth Vader's working down the hallway, Rogue One just cutting people down. That's how I feel watching y'all play this year. Dude, thank you so much for coming on this morning. This was great. Best of luck this weekend. Get the boys ready. And just, a huge thank you from all the fans out here. Because like I said, man, it's been so much fun watching this year. Like getting all the dads together in the neighborhood, drinking beers, and watching y'all crush. It's been great, man.
I appreciate you guys, and thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Hayden Travinsky. Oh, if we got another 3-run bomb coming up this weekend.
I mean, that's some good answers, man.
It was.
I don't think he was pandering. I think that's just him. He just happened to be a great blend of the two hosts here.
Grinding Pokemon. That's my king right there, bro.
Yeah, great beard.
Very polite answering the phone as well.
I wish I knew more about Ruby.
Big one greater.
I just don't know about Ruby, unfortunately. I kind of quit after Gold and Silver mainly. I think I played Ruby or one of maybe Emerald. I don't know.
Does his beard intimidate you? How it touches?
His mustache does. Yeah, I wish I had a mustache like that. I mean, I wish I had a mustache like you. To be honest, I like when you go only mustache. I think it looks very manly. And
I will go only mustache if Hayden hits another 3-run bomb in this Auburn series.
Is that going to be allowed?
What?
Is that going to be allowed?
What? Go mustache only?
Yeah, I know. I mean, isn't one of the reasons why you can't go mustache only?
Oh, she'll just make fun of me.
Okay.
My wife?
Okay,
she'll just make fun
just
of me.
making sure pregnant wife, it operates under a different set of rules.
That's true. And we've got an event
going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you look awesome mustache only.
I mean, thank you.
But, I'm not.
Yeah, I think Mario should go mustache only because his facial hair doesn't grow maybe as full as his mustache, but great mustache.
No, but you can push it through, though. Remember, Danny basically created a beard out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He got, obsessed
I think he
with,
got surgery.
Beard oils. He, went through the awkward phase.
I mean, I think he had surgery.
Yeah,
Can you have
he just
facial
he
hair
worked at it.
implants?
I guess you could. I don't know where you would take the hair from.
He puts the effort in. I don't know exactly what he uses, but I cleaned out the rest of his stuff from the bathroom in the apartment. He puts effort into it.
I can only imagine what Danny's bathroom looks like. It looks like when you have a doctor or a high-level psychopath murderer and they roll out their tools and it's like a big bag and it's just 100 different gleaming tools. That's Danny nightly trying to get ready for how he looks for sure. Shout out.
God, I can't imagine what it would, everything Danny would have set up.
Yeah, all of it.
Because, look, and I love a good gold chain, but Danny's got his jewelry here. Mario found maybe some foundation he left over because he's got to be looking right. He's got the beard oils. He's got everything ready to go. I'd hope you're listening, Danny, but you're not awake.
He's not awake. No chance.
He called you yesterday, right at 10, 15? Just getting up.
Yeah, no, his favorite part about not working here is not waking up. Yeah. So there's no chance that he is. All right, when we get back, Munchies. Chef Michael Johnson.
OTB, OT.
Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, or whether you're looking to buy a new vehicle, Toyota certified used vehicle, maybe you want to lease, maybe you want to rent, maybe you already own from All Star Toyota, you bring it in the shop, and you already know that if it's a big job, you can get that great per-day rental price, a cheaper per-day rental price, your traditional rental coverage and monthly sessions. I also love the fact that you bring your car in, they take care of it. They send you text updates throughout so you don't go ahead with any work that you don't approve of. They'll actually drop you off at your home and then pick you back up. You're not going to pay for Ubers or anything like that because the customer always comes first at All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Yeah, go check out what they have available for you and your family because your needs are going to be met. If it's just you, certainly they got sedans. They have different options for you. If you have a big family like I do, well, it's okay. You have the Sienna minivan, you have the Sequoia, right? We've been in the Highlander, but once we add here in a couple of months, we're going to need to go a little bit bigger, and they've got you covered from every single angle. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire up their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, it's Matt Musso. Join me Monday through Friday for your daily update on LSU baseball with Musso at the Box, presented by New Orleans Flooring. Wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Google, and check out New Orleans Flooring. 2 locations, Metairie and Prairieville, or NOLAFlooring.com.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go? Join us for the Wednesday edition of Game Time. We're live from Modesto, getting you ready for Cinco de Mayo. Modesto on Burbank. It's Game Time, 6 to 8 p.m. Wednesday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Yeah, boys! That's the good stuff right there, dude. Choo! Tell me you don't remember. Here it comes. Seeing young Luke stare off into that dual sunset from Tatooine. This foreign environment you've never seen before. Absolutely love it. Let's go to the phone line. It's time for some munchies. Our guy, Chef Michael Johnson. Chef Johnson, may the 4th be with you. Happy Star Wars Day, my friend. How are we feeling today?
Back to you. I'm good, brother. How are you?
I'm good as well. I'm sure we've talked about it before. I'm not sure that I remember. Do you have any particular Star Wars love? I've been asking every guest that I've had today, and the closest I've got is Jay Johnson said he thinks he dressed up as Yoda one time.
I remember my parents when I was a kid, and I mean, this is like probably the late 70s, right around when Star Wars and Return of the Jedi were coming out. My parents had a Chewie costume, and I think my dad had like a stormtrooper costume that was, I mean, they were next level. It was pretty awesome, and those always stuck to me.
Can we get obviously the Cantina music this week, Mario, as the theme behind this? You can go ahead and change whatever you're playing right now. Chef, what's going on? How is I know you're up at Toledo. You doing any fishing? What's going on up at the lake? Oh, hello? Did we lose Chef? Did you accidentally mute Chef?
No, he should still be there. Chef? No? Got to call you back?
Hello?
Okay, I'll call him back.
All right, go ahead and get your munchies.
I feel like there's probably like a sounder we can get from the chef from South Park, like to welcome him onto the show as well.
Yeah, no, I would say for sure.
I really thought about that.
Like
great character.
My big chocolate salty balls.
Maybe. I mean, you already said it, so we can certainly get away with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think he'd appreciate it.
My sister made brownies the other day, but made them like a little undercooked, so it's really just like a chocolate dough. And so I actually have been taking them and forming them into little balls and eating them that way. And it's very good. Just make a little ball and then drop it in the milk. Chef, what's going on, man? Sorry we lost you there.
All good. I'm traveling, as you know.
Yeah, hell yeah.
If you're traveling where I think you're traveling, like that's not going to be the only time we're losing you.
No,
there.
it's true. You're probably right. Hashtag munchies. Is it possible to crock pot a pork ramen broth instead of having to keep my stove on a constant boil?
Yeah, I think you can, as long as you have it up on high enough. It's probably going to take a little bit longer, but essentially what you're trying to do is slowly draw the flavors. And if you're putting bone in there, like it takes time to get the marrow and the flavor out of the bone. So it's probably safer.
Hashtag munchies. What is Chef's go-to Cinco de Mayo meal?
I like street tacos, and I like real street tacos like lengua. I like beef tongue and pork belly and stuff like that. I'm always game for street tacos.
That is there a certain protein? Because like for me, street tacos, like I just change it up. Like I mean, pork, it can be fish, it can be chicken, it can be steak. Do you have a go-to, or do you like to have a variety?
I do like tongue. If it's like I'll go lengua first. There's a dish. It's like the oldest Mexican preparation of a pork butt that's ever lived. It's puerco people or people conchinitas, something like that. But I can't remember the name of the movie. Like Once Upon a Time in Mexico, and Johnny Depp's running around killing people. So that's the dish he's eating every time he goes.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
I think it's a Robert Rodriguez joint.
It is.
Second Robert Rodriguez mention of the day.
Yep.
Hashtag Ask Chef. Do you dust your crawfish with Tony's?
I used to. I don't much anymore. And I think it's just I think it's a moment of necessity of how you go of your process, right? Like I like to cook my veggies first and put them in the ice chest, maybe dust them, and then cook my crawfish on back to that, and then put the crawfish on the table and throw the veggies on top once they're done. So it really, for me, I don't have a need for it. Plus, I have a ton of young mouths that I'm trying to feed, and I don't think that they have as much appreciation for it.
Yeah.
But, I think it's a matter of necessity. I'm not saying it's wrong. I think as time progresses and my children have different eating habits, like it kind of just goes by the wayside for me to do it. So
yeah, I know this is unpopular in these parts. I like both. I think good crawfish made well tastes great either way.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm never going to be mad about getting delicious Cajun seasoning all over my hands.
No,
I love it. I can basically eat the stuff straight anyway. Hashtag munchies. What would you serve at a space cantina?
Oh, man, that's a good one. A space cantina.
Yeah.
I'm kind of stumped on this. I don't know, man. I feel like it should be like new wave and stuff, but I'm very old school and slow cooking about my processes. So when cast iron, I guess I would have to do some like gastronomy kind of stuff. With foams and emulsions and stuff like that. It kind of turned it into something cool and neat versus cast iron.
Well, how about this though,
So-
Chef? Just a chrome plate. Just throw a steak on a chrome
There
plate.
you go.
And there you go. Dude. Pork belly on a chrome plate. We're good to go.
Have you guys ever had liquid nitrogen ice cream before?
No,
Yes,
that
I
sounds
have.
very spacey. I'm into it.
Yeah, it's really cool. So you take liquid nitrogen and pour it into the cream that the base, and it freezes it so quick that it doesn't form crystals, and so it's super smooth. It's an exceptional product. It's just a little bit wonky because you have to have liquid nitrogen.
Hey, Chef, we always talk about, foods when it's cold outside. We talk gumbo, we talk chili, we talk all the things that we love. What about the go-to food when it's hot outside? Because I feel like it's coming, and it's coming very soon. We've been very, very blessed with the weather we've gotten this spring, but what's your go-to food when it's warm outside, but you still want to have, the outside, the TV going, watching a game, maybe with a brew in hand?
It may not go with the brew in hand as much, but I love, like, a cold soup. I love chilled melon soup or chilled potato soup or gazpacho. Gazpacho in particular because of all the, if you make a gazpacho the night before and let it sit overnight and chill and then finish it with a little bit of olive oil and like crema or something like that, it's just, I don't know, it's something that's remarkably refreshing. Chop some cilantro in it maybe and finish it off, but I love a good chilled gazpacho.
Hashtag munchies. Best homemade queso.
I lost you for a second. Both best what now?
Best homemade queso.
Homemade queso?
Yeah, if you're making, I guess in honor of Cinco de Mayo, if you're making queso, how are you doing it?
Yeah, I'm probably going to build like a milk, like a bechamel kind of, maybe a little bit thin with milk instead of as thick. And I honestly, though, I do like Velveeta in my queso. I think it's just it's a questionable whether it's a cheese or not. But I love Velveeta in my cheese. I do like to put some like smoked Gouda in there, perhaps. Give it a little bit of dark or smoked flavor to it. But
what is a bechamel though, Chef? I've seen this a lot, and I don't know what bechamel is.
A bechamel is like milk thickened with a roux, a blonde roux, a light roux, so that it doesn't darken its color.
Okay.
It's a traditional mother sauce that moves into other sauces, so you kind of use it as a base.
I did say that, or like that he said that I put a little Velveeta in my cheese, kind of saying like we realize this is not really cheese. I can appreciate that.
Also,
Chef.
is Velveeta technically cheese dip, which was invented in Arkansas, or is it queso?
Of course it was.
Yeah, bro. Arkansas is where the cheese dip world championship moments are held. I don't know. These are facts.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag munchies. Will any of your children become chefs? I think we lost Chef again.
Yeah.
You know what? That was the last question anyway, so we'll just call it. I'll text him. I know what part of the country he's driving.
We both
in as well.
know. Yeah, we both know where he's at. Not a lot of cell towers out there.
Service drops in or out. We love Chef. Thank you for munchies. Coming up next, let's talk to real quick. I want to remind you of Patient Plus Urgent Care, patientplusuc.com, patientplusuc.com. They got locations littered throughout the capital city. They're going to get you right, get you better. You walk in for life's unexpected moments. It's all the testing, all the best nurses, nurse practitioners, nurses, doctors, everything to make sure that you leave feeling better. And it's efficient, it's quick. And again, the facilities are really what's going to blow you away, y'all, which is why if you need occupational medicine needs, go check out the Mid-City location. It's a quality that you're just not going to find anywhere else. And for all, everybody who goes, they know what I'm talking about. If you haven't been, go try them out next time you're not feeling great. Patient Plus Urgent Care, patientplusuc.com. All right. When we get back, Let's go ahead and talk to our girl, Maddie Hudak, here on OTB.
OTB, OT.
Hey, we're reminding you about the Advanced Eye Center, okay? The Advanced Eye Center Sports Vision Training Camp, which is coming up. I mean, I talked about it yesterday, but really think about this. Everything you do in sports, you try to shoot the basketball into the hoop, Jake. You are trying to penalty kick in soccer. You're trying to hit a baseball, catch a baseball. What does this all start with? Your vision, right? Depth perception, object tracking, hand-eye coordination, all things that we tested in the couple minutes that we were over there at the Advanced Eye Center. And nobody is better at identifying where your vision is lacking and learning how to improve it than the Advanced Eye Center. Dr. Zhang has been doing it for 40 years, holds the highest accreditation in the state, and they're the only accredited sports vision therapy place in the entire state. And they're putting on summer camps for your kids this year to maximize their athletic potential. Find them on Facebook at Advanced Eye Center and go sign up for the camps today.
Yeah, improvement. All right, that's the key word here. You can improve. Like you take hitting lessons, right? Go ahead and take eye lessons to make sure you're hitting the ball as well. Check it out all online, advancedeyecenter.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come on, in Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down the
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink.
For live play-by-play this weekend, the Rays host the Yankees Saturday at 3, and the Lakers host the Warriors at 7:30. Then on Sunday, the 76ers host the Celtics at 2:30, followed by the Padres and the Dodgers at 6 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Yes, welcome back to Off the Bench here on 104.5 ESPN. It's my distinct pleasure to welcome in Maddie Hudak at Maddie Hudak _94 on Twitter. She had a great new show that just launched, Before the Whistle. Episode 1 is up on YouTube as well as podcasts. You can check it out. We'll talk to her about it. Maddie, it is May the 4th. I have struck out thus far. I'm guessing I'm going to strike out once again. Do you have any Star Wars fandom in your bones at all here?
I do not, because I'm an only child and I never saw them. And now the amount of hours that would have to accumulate in order for me to catch up is just too much.
Yeah,
but I get the lightsaber now.
Yes. So you weren't even aware. Yeah, it is technically a Star Wars hobby.
Yeah. I did enjoy, like, because we can't hear Maddie until she comes on. Like, I could see her, like, lip. Is that a lightsaber? And I'm like, she's got to be pretty confused right now.
Maddie, hey, look, it seems like you got a ton of stuff going on right now. Obviously, want to talk about Tulane, maybe a little Tajay Spears, New Orleans Saints as well with the draft just wrapping up. But let's talk about you. Because you just launched a new show, Before the Whistle, and it's kind of, well, I mean, it seems it's about you, right? And your kind of journey to this point as you switched careers and really went for it. What was the idea behind creating Behind the Whistle or Before the Whistle?
Yeah, well, that was kind of my point because it's my favorite song by Too Short, Blow the Whistle. But my point was just kind of, what's kind of the unique insights that I've been able to gain as being a sideline reporter, which is something that's usually seen. It's kind of that fluff throwaway job, but I think that you can really find a lot of value in that. And that first episode was really to just kind of explain where I'm coming from and why I am the way that I am, but hoping to just kind of look at bigger picture things. Like my guest I'll be having on for my episode on Friday administers something called the Athletic Intelligence Quotient, which if you guys have heard about this S2 cognition test, It's something along those lines. So just kind of those kind of things where I otherwise haven't had a space to do so, and just to be able to rant about my own feelings on football.
Yeah, I think the sideline reporter, though, I think the relationships that you build down there, because I've done both. Like, I've been in the booth, I've done on the sideline. I much prefer actually being on the sideline because the relationships, like, you have the inner workings of how everything kind of takes place. And just to be down there is a totally different perspective than when you're up in a booth.
I mean, listen, and the sideline I was down on last year culminated in being the winners of the Cotton Bowl. So I could not imagine not being down there right where literally the USC player fumbled and the safety and all of that happening right in front of my face. Like, I just can't fathom not having that feeling around me. So, yeah, I'm with you where it's easier to watch games from the press box, but I much prefer the feeling of being on the sideline.
Yeah. And then I know through getting to know this Tulane team last year, Maddie, there are obviously so many people, so many personalities. Nobody bigger or better, though, than Tajay Spears, who obviously a lot of Saints fans are hoping that maybe they could link up in the draft. It ends up being the Titans. And now I know that they have some I saw some health concerns come out of the knee. What can you tell us about maybe one of the reasons why Tajay, I mean, he still went off early, don't get me wrong, but like some maybe even would have expected him to go a bit earlier.
Yeah, I saw this talk about him falling. I thought that he had kind of shot out to the third round as a result of the Senior Bowl, but whether or not he would have gone before that, I was just kind of surprised at how many running backs went as early as they did this year, especially in the top 10, but that's for another day. But it's upsetting for, I guess, local fans that wanted that tie, but he does offer such a similar skill set to Alvin Kamara that, in the event that he's suspended, you could kind of slot in Tajay, but then kind of what's the bigger vision there? And is that something that they're going to be kind of moving away from, seeing as we didn't see them really use Kamara in the way that you would envision them using Tajay Spears last season? Whereas it's kind of funny to picture him standing next to Derrick Henry just for the comparison of size alone, and he won't have number 22 anymore as a result. But I like that he's going somewhere where there's a potential for a rookie quarterback to really get in the mix here, because I think that's really where he can show his value, is cultivating that chemistry. I saw him do it at the Senior Bowl with guys like Clayton Tune almost instantaneously. And he does offer that kind of ability as a pass catcher in the backfield and offers such a different skill set to Derrick Henry. And the fact that they had coaches down there at the Senior Bowl, they were really able to see what he could do up close. So I don't have any insight as necessarily on the medical information that came out, but the Titans clearly liked what they saw that he could do now. And as much as we talk about these second contracts for running backs, oftentimes they really don't even get there in the first place. So in terms of what he can do now, it's electric. And I really look forward to now paying attention to the AFC for the first time in my life.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, I can speak on the running back portion there in the NFL. Like, if you can get to that second deal, that is something certainly that is very valuable, because it's just very hard at that position. But Tyjae Spears is not someone I'm going to count against, because I just think he is a fantastic football player, and I actually like the spot as well. But, obviously he's not going to be back for Tulane. But when we were talking about, Maddie, the top 25 after spring, ESPN.com put theirs together. Tulane's still firmly in that. They come in at number 19. You return 12 starters on this team. Yeah, you do lose Tyjae Spears, you lose Watts, you lose some other playmakers, but you have the quarterback and head coach coming back, which that has been a great combination for the Green Wave. And so obviously last year was a special year, but a lot of people are just saying, hey, you know what? That wasn't a one-hit wonder. Tulane can come back and they can have a very similar season.
It's just weird to even be having these conversations about Tulane, to be honest. Like, they have the quarterback and the head coach when they really never had either in the past. I remember one of the transfer linebackers, Tyler Grubbs, from Louisiana Tech, talking after the spring game how he wanted to transfer somewhere where they were winners and champions contending for a ring. And I turned around to Steve Barrios, who's our color analyst for the last 40 years. I'm like, Steve, have you ever heard of a new incoming player or really anyone come in and describe Tulane as one of those teams? But it's correct in that there's the first time that there are these expectations before the season starts, but I think they can see it for themselves now. And quarterback is the most important position on the field. We saw that happen as our opponents in the Cotton Bowl basically marched down the field every drive. I mean, it was just incredible to watch Caleb Williams work that up close, as well, as much as it was against Tulane. But without Tyjae Spears there, it's definitely going to kind of be the year of the quarterback there at Tulane. And I think Michael Pratt really has a chance. He's had some of these guys there for years at this point. Jaquan Jackson is so familiar to him. Lawrence Keyes, who they got as a transfer from Notre Dame last year, he's been so key in these small moments, but I really see him stepping up this season. They had great transfers in Keith Brown and Dante Fleming. And, the fact that Alex Bauman is tight end one, he's the one who, when we were down both starting tight ends and we lost Deuce Watts on that final drive to that questionable call that was not called targeting, Alex Bauman steps up for Pratt, and Pratt delivers the ball right where it needs to be. I've just seen this kid battle through so much physical and mental difficulties over the last couple of seasons. His mental toughness is absurd. And he showed that in Oklahoma really 2 seasons ago. Yeah. He really showed it in that final drive where he had no timeouts left, 1 minute, and knew that he had to get a touchdown. And he just really marched down decisively down the field, used his legs correctly. And I'm really excited to see what I think will be a very different offense for Tulane, and one that hopefully beats Ole Miss in our second game this season.
Talking to Maddie Hudak, who, of course, as we're discussing, Tyler, important for your Tulane Green Wave, also hosted Before the Whistle. Go check it out today on YouTube. Maddie, what did it mean? Take us back last year, because the rumors are swirling that Willie Fritz was gone. In fact, there were a couple of days there, one day it was basically being reported that he was gone. Like, we kind of accepted, like, okay, yeah, that's what happens at Tulane. If you do really well, you're going to go elsewhere, you're going to go find that fortune. And then that didn't happen, and he ends up staying. What was the reaction or vibes around the locker room in the program when Willie Fritz basically said, you know what, never mind, I'm going to stay right here in New Orleans?
That was one of the more dramatic 48 hours that I can really remember. I just remember trying to watch the Saints play the 49ers, and I'm getting calls from local news stations asking me about Willie Fritz leaving. So I'm like, all right, I got to pause everything here. And obviously, he was relatively tight-lipped, and we had all kind of accepted the same thing. And I remember listening to this very kind of random podcast he did the night before it came out that he wasn't leaving, and it sounded like he was going to stay. So it really kind of took me back. But, you don't hear about coaches turning down jobs on principle ever. And it's not really something that you should expect coaches to do. It's not, considered the right thing in a college football sense, but he committed to these guys to see the season out with them. And so to turn down a Power 5 coaching job just for one last ride, which, turned into a very exhilarating one after that in Arlington. Yeah. But as much as, I felt like my world was crumbling, the players were really just steadfast that week. They held their player-led meeting on Monday and said, this is not going to get in the way of the championship game. And clearly it didn't even a little bit. And we kept saying that as much as this sucks this week, these players really seem to have locked in and locked out all the outside noise. And that's really what they did all year. And it shouldn't have really been as surprising as it was. But just, again, the mental toughness of those guys. But so reassuring to have Willie Fritz back. It just feels like everything's going right for Tulane, and it's really never done that before. Like you said, they're usually used to, and they have very small bouts of success getting the entire farm taken.
Yep.
It is going right, and it might go even farther down the road because, like, there's been some rumors, Maddie, that Tulane potentially could join, like, the Pac-12, like them and Rice maybe together, and it makes a lot of sense because, I mean, obviously the city of New Orleans, academically, certainly they fit the mold there. Athletically, I think they would actually do well. And, New Orleans is a city that's easy to get in and out of. And, yes, it'd be a little bit longer flight for the Pac-12. But if Tulane can find themselves into the Pac-12, for me, I think it makes a lot of sense for both parties.
I would agree. I'm still trying not to laugh when you say, the football is up there because it's just, again, it's as someone that went to Tulane, this is just such a weird new feeling. But it is correct that it's the status quo. And I do think it's a good fit. Last year they showed they beat the Big 12 champions. They beat the active Heisman Trophy winners who were in the Pac-12. So, they really already showed that they have the ability to hang there. And then from the academic perspective, it really does make so much sense. It is such a good school as much as it kind of gets touted as being in New Orleans and being by the boot. It's really hard school there while I was there. The talk of them potentially adding, SMU in there. It makes so much sense if they do that as a travel partner. Then you have, the ability to both go out there, but it is such a fit. And everyone talks about Tulane leaving the SEC. I don't know if that would have necessarily sustained up until now because they really just didn't invest time and the administration didn't really invest anything in academics up until quite recently. So I just think it would have been a really bad time in the SEC for a while. So as much as that sucked in the long run, I think if they have the opportunity to join the conference that is a good fit for them at this point, can't turn down a Power 5 offer, but it really seems to be one that they actually fit the mold and give me a reason to go back to California quite often. So I would selfishly not be mad about that.
That would work out very nicely. Maddie Hudak at Maddie Hudak _94 on Twitter. Go follow her on Twitter. Ooh, about 15 away from 10K. Push that 10K, guys. Maddie, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and you have an excellent weekend.
Thank you, guys. May the force be with you.
Yeah,
right?
There we go, dude. And also with you. Okay, this is the Catholic. This is the Catholic fandom here. I'm not actually.
What is wrong with you?
They actually finally did that. I think in Mando season 2, I want to say they finally dropped and also with you, which I really appreciated. And go check out Before the Whistle and go follow Maddie on Twitter. Let's push her over 10K, 15 away. All right, when we get back, wrapping up the show.
OTB, OT.
CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. Go to Central Plumbing today and just know that all your plumbing needs are taken care of, okay? Even if I had a space toilet that was like super advanced and crazy, you know what? Central Plumbing could fix it because they can fix it all because they've seen it all because they've been in business for 50 years, y'all. And it's not just residential. Commercial as well. If you're a big business, an office building, you need your plumbing needs met. There's only one answer for all your plumbing needs, and it's centralplumbing.org.
Go to the website, centralplumbing.org today. They can truly do whatever you need them to do. Like in emergencies, yes, obviously we tell you that every day because it is factual, it is truth, 24/7. But if you're looking to upgrade, if you're looking for a remodel, if you're looking to go tankless, they can do all of those things for you at your home and at your business, or just both if you really want to do a deep dive into Central Plumbing, because you should. CentralPlumbing.org, 225-925-8552.
Our listeners fire up their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Turn my music high, 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 yeah. You don't know what you're doing. Sure I do. I'm from the streets with a hood to swallow on me. Bullets to follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. The cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clashing, chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like this Wall Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
The best.
Hey, it's Hunt. I'm out on Thursday, but the Hunt Palmer Show rolls on. Taylor Sharp in the captain's chair. I'll be talking to Joe Healy of D1 Baseball's SEC Extra Team, and he'll probably talk about football. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Oh, keep it playing. Don't you dare turn this on. This is likely my favorite song in the entire Star Wars John Williams catalog. Ironic, because it comes from the second to worst movie, in Attack of the Clones. I mean, if this, tell me you don't immediately, like y'all know Star Wars nostalgia, right, boys?
Mm-hmm.
What emotion do you feel when you hear this? I'm curious.
I feel like a calming.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I'm getting ready to go on like an epic journey.
Really?
Yeah, like I'm in an actual epic.
So to me, and granted, this is what it kind of represents in the story. So of course, to my brain goes, I just feel a longing, right? A longing, like I can feel the forbidden love, the almost Romeo and Juliet nature of Anakin and Natalie Portman, right? Two that desperately want to be together and yet cannot for forces that are bigger than them.
You said this is from the second worst movie?
Mm-hmm.
What's the worst Star Wars movie?
The Rise of Skywalker, the ninth one, and I don't even think it's particularly close. It's the only movie where I've seen myself become the very monster that I used to hate so much. You know, it's the old Harvey Dent thing. I lived long enough to see myself become the angry nerd that I used to decry.
I've actually
Sad.
seen two. I
It's
saw whichever one, like Han Solo gets frozen in.
Yep, Empire Strikes Back. Hell yeah.
I've seen that one,
Yeah.
and then the other one where he like is in like this little den thing, and he has to fight this big monster looking thing.
Return of Jedi.
Okay,
That's
so yeah,
episodes
those are
5
the
and
two.
6. Okay, yeah, I mean those are
Those are
great
the
too.
two.
Those are good too. Don't know how you missed New Hope. Hey, do you want to remind you to Agatip Baton Rouge, AgatipBR.com, AgatipBR.com for AC, heat, and electrical needs. Go to the website today. Service to the highest degree. It's not just lip service. They mean that. And remember, Ask the Bench is brought to you by Cold Coors Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, and Blue Moon Lot Sky Citrus Week. Yeah, I killed Jake because he wasn't admitted for it. I just struck him down. But he will not become more powerful than you could possibly imagine. Hey, for the last time, guys, let's have some fun tonight. Come out to Oliver Twist. Ooh, listen to this music right here. Come out to Oliver Twist tonight. Great menu, great drinks, all-stars team. Going to be a ton of fun. See you there.
OTB, OT. Follow us on Twitter at 1045.